With what?
Oh, what indeed? What indeed? Hey, everybody, welcome to Back Issues of Sal.
I'm Ethan.
I'm Ben.
As we wind down the end of 2024, let's talk about Superman versus Predator. Because I won't stop talking about Predator. I might as well make it official and just talk about this weird crossover that happened in 2000. And yeah, I mean, you know, Batman versus Predator worked out, and then it was just diminishing returns. But thankfully, Superman vs. Predator is like a real comic book and not like JLA Predator or Batman and Superman vs. Aliens and Predator.
Yeah, I see Superman in one of these books and I get worried.
I mean, it's weird, right? Like, I mean, it's Superman vs. Predator. So here we go. The Yautja appears and then Superman blows him up with his heat vision, and it's over because, oh no, but he's also cloaked. Yeah, and Superman can see at the end. So
he can smell him, he can hear him.
Yep.
It doesn't matter.
No, it's literally, it's over in a heartbeat. It's a weird premise. Why would you even try? When you did this pitch, someone at the editorial level should have said, why don't we just do another Batman Predator? And they went, wait. Why don't we do both? That's why we have 3 horrible Batman vs. Predator sequels, and we have this Superman vs. Predator story that also doesn't refer to either of them. And how could it? Because there's no continuity between any of them anyway, except in the Batman ones, where there is deep continuity for no good reason, but also it disregards themselves. So, cool.
Who made this?
This is by David Michelinie of Spider-Man fame, with art by Alex Maleev.
I wasn't sure if this was like a 2-parter and you had both issues, or was it just one for each?
No, it's a 3-parter, and I have 2 copies of the trade paperback. And if you want, I could get the single issues, or the Dark Horse versus DC crossover trade paperback I have, which collects most of these.
I'm guessing there's a lot of like investigation in this.
It's, you know,
searching.
It's very much a Predator story. Like it's everything that works about the Predator story. It's also kind of short, and when I say that, I mean it's not like it's jokey short. Where again, you know, Predator arrives, he throws a disc, it hits Clark Kent, it dents the disc. Clark Kent shoots it with his heat vision and hits the wrist thing and he explodes. And Clark goes, why did that happen? No.
Also, I have no problem killing aliens.
Right.
We've already said it.
We've already done that. It's fine. Batman can do it. Superman can do it. It's okay. Martian Manhunter is like, no. But yeah, this is fine. But I also wanted to talk about like Predator again because, you know, I love this franchise and I want to talk about more of them because we're getting more Predator crossovers thanks to Marvel having the license and actually going ahead.
It's a whole new ball game.
They did Predator vs. Wolverine, which we covered. They did Predator vs. Black Panther, which sucks. Sorry.
Oh.
I know. It's a real shame. And
but it works so well because just like Wolverine, both of them are hunters.
I know.
Well, Black Panther's more of a protector.
Yeah, but he also skulks around in the forest and goes from tree to tree, nimbly-bimbly like a cat, so it makes sense. And they just announced, as of the taping of this episode, Predator vs. Spider-Man. So
what?
Awesome.
Damn.
And somehow, it's weird, because like there were at least 4 or 5 different artists on Predator versus Wolverine, and there were at least 3 artists on Predator versus Black Panther. With the Spider-Man one artist the whole time. I can't believe it.
Right.
It's almost like Marvel knows what side the bread is buttered on. I don't know. But we're getting that, and I'm excited. I'm sure Kraven the Hunter will factor in, because why wouldn't he?
Oh.
But right now, the premise...
Isn't he dead?
Well, no. No. Well, yes.
Yeah, it's like a new one or something, right?
Okay, yeah, actually, yeah. Kraven had been dead in Kraven's Last Hunt, and then resurrected by Kraven's extended family.
Yeah.
And then he died again.
Yeah.
But he is replaced by a clone who Marvel editorial does not have a lot of like restrictions on as far as guidelines. So for all intents and purposes, Kraven's alive.
He's the same guy. Okay.
He's the same guy, but with no baggage.
Corvin. Corvin the Hunter.
Yeah, he doesn't even try. It's just he was Kraven, and he was raised by Kraven in the jungles, but he had an accelerated aging factor.
Sure.
Whatever.
Okay, accelerated aging factor is one thing, but that doesn't mean you like get all your smarts.
I know, he did.
Yeah, well, but he had Kraven to teach him, so he learned faster than the original Kraven.
Yeah, because Kraven isn't just an expert game hunter, he's also like an expert educator. And
in being Kraven, yeah.
Right, yeah, no, his pedagogical skills are off the charts.
Before every lesson, drink some more spider venom out of this bowl.
Naturally, you know. But
that's one thing you
make
definitely
it stronger.
need.
Get in the spider room.
Yeah, you're never gonna be Kraven until you do these things.
Yeah.
These are what make Kraven Kraven.
Unfortunately, it also means that you are probably at the end of your life, because that's only something Kraven would do right before he dies.
Well, you had to be Kraven, you have to do that, and then die, and then get resurrected by your family.
Yeah, and then die but be replaced by a clone of yourself. This is the cycle continues.
Yeah.
But yeah, so, you know, Predator vs. Spider-Man. What's funny is the online community that went nuts, where they were like, in both camps. They were like, Spider-Man has super strength, agility, speed. Predator's done. And other people going, Spider-Man's done. Predator's just awesome.
Predator has a shoulder cannon.
Right, and cloaking. And I'm like, Spider-Man has a spider sense. But also, like, Spider-Man has been defeated by weaker predators, lowercase p, than the Yautja. So, I mean, like, just, it's a comic book. The premise is Predator versus Spider-Man.
Yeah, if you're power scaling, it's insane.
Yeah, stop.
But this is Predator 2 again. You're getting Predator in a city.
Maybe, unless like the pitch is like it's Predator 2 and the Predator's going up to Spider-Man. And Kraven has known about the Predators for years. So then Kraven like gasses the Predator and Spider-Man and then brings them to like a game preserve or some island or something. And now everyone's being hunted. I mean, maybe.
And the Oucher's like, I didn't like this.
Yeah, I did not like this. If I survive this, I am changing my ways.
Oh, this is what I've been doing to people? This is terrible.
That's exactly what I'm hoping doesn't happen, but also I kind of love it. Either way, I don't know what the premise is. We'll talk about it on the show, though, because that book will do okay.
Well, as it turns out, Predator's just a big fan of Spider-Man.
Right, he's just like, oh man! Like how the Russian in Garth Ennis's Punisher is a big Daredevil fan.
Yeah.
So, anyway, this is a Predator story. What is a Predator story? Well, the premise that I go by is that it's an action movie, and then it is interrupted by the beginning of Act 2 by a Predator, and now it's a Predator story. That's it. In this case, it is about a Predator. You know, like the situation is that there's a team from Star Labs, the super science enterprise that exists in the Superman comics, that are investigating what they believe to be an ancient derelict spacecraft. And so they go to Central America where they look for it. And so we meet a cavalcade of characters who all should, by all rights, be hunted individually and die by the Predator.
Yeah.
And they don't, and it's frustrating because, you know, I'm like, well, I know where this is
going.
going.
Why are these people still alive?
Yeah, what? But also it's Superman. It's like if everyone dies and Superman is there, it's like, man, Supes, what are you doing?
You didn't achieve anything.
No.
They're all dead
You
anyway.
were in a Predator story,
Yeah.
but everyone who would remember this event died.
Yeah.
So congratulations.
Well,
But-
no, he's going to be in the story afterwards, after everyone dies.
Right, he should be.
He's the team that goes in to figure out what happened.
Yes, that's right. Yeah,
Oh.
this should be the squad that Jim Hopper is on from Predator, and then we're on the Arnold squad, which is just Superman. But it isn't. It's okay. So the Star Labs
I'm
team,
like 8 pages in. I haven't seen a Predator yet.
you won't until the end of the first issue.
Okay.
Of a 3-issue story. So
It's a lot of setup. Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
and
That's
I mean,
like the whole Predator movie. You
That
don't
is
see
a-
a Predator until like 20 minutes in.
yeah,
That's true.
And
That's true.
Maleev draws a mean Predator. And when I say that, I mean he draws an accurate Predator and a proportionate Predator. And it looks fine. Maleev's art is
Where are the Predator dogs, though? And the Predator alligator? Wait, no, I'm sorry.
that was
that's
in
the
Batman
alligator.
Aliens. Yeah.
You're getting your
But
franchise
Predator
mixed
dogs.
up.
Predator dogs, we've seen them. We've
Predator
seen two
dogs,
different
though.
versions of them.
So stupid.
I liked the dogs the Predators use in hunting in Predators.
In Predators.
But
because those are just
like another
alien
alien
dogs.
that the Predators domesticate.
Yeah, it's not a dog with a Predator face.
Which is in The Predator, a movie that
Blows.
shouldn't exist. Just shouldn't exist. This team, they're going, they find it, and the head of the expedition is this young, enterprising, science-forward lady.
Wearing a
Look for a
bikini.
name.
It's hot there, man.
It's hot, so she's wearing a bikini in every shot.
Well,
it's
she
very
will
prominently.
until the end of the book. Like,
Yeah.
you know, she's wearing a bikini top for the whole book.
I get that they're in the jungle, but you're gonna get so many
Oh my
bug
God.
bites.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no. So Marlo's the head of the team, more or less. There is like an older, equally accredited scientist
Yeah,
who
Dr.
is with
Traber.
her, and he's not in charge. But like, you know, that's really cool. Good for Marla. You know, she is leading this expedition. The idea is that she's hoping that they can like raid the ship and then strip it for scientific progress they can use to advance humanity forward. It's an altruistic vision, I suppose, if
Right.
not a little bit, you know, grave robbery, but whatever.
Well,
So-
I mean, but it's.
I mean, it's just sitting there.
Yeah, and they think it's really old, so like, I mean,
And it is.
there's no one to mourn.
Exactly.
These
So
people.
they find this ship. It's an old Predator ship, and it's got all these like vines and vegetation growing on it, and they're like, oh, clear the vines away so we can find a way onto the ship. They cut it down, and it's just covered in collections of skulls from the original Predator's hunting expedition.
Oh yeah, there's like
He's
a
been very
net that
active.
plants have grown through.
Yeah.
And they
it's
cut it
filled
open
with
like a
skulls.
pinata.
Yeah, it's just and like the older guy Traber is like, hey, I have a great idea for how we can make this trip worthwhile. Blow this ship away. Just fill it with explosives and get it off
And
of
just
this
leave
planet.
and go home
Yes.
and never talk about it again.
And I'm like, dude, why did you even go on this expedition? Like, if your plan is like, dude, we are hunting down and trying to photograph this ancient and thought extinct species. I have an idea. Shoot it in the face and then eat it because I don't want to be here anymore. I mean, like,
Is he's getting a bad feeling, or
he's let. What you have to assume is that this dude is just kind of a scaredy cat and he doesn't want to do this. Or he's lazy, but of course all of this is suspicious, so it implies that maybe he knows what this is. Maybe he's seen this kind of thing before.
Yeah, maybe he's been in Gotham before.
He's like, this Batman's. Or one of those things that fought Batman that like one time.
Yeah, that one time.
Or it's 2000, so at least twice. And the second time there were more of them. Either way, they didn't see their ships, but although I think at least 2 of them explode at the end of BVP2. Either way, no. But yes, he should. But he recognized them from another encounter with the Predators. Spoilers, the guy's seen Predators before. So,
Yeah.
but not that he's like a carryover from like the Dark Horse comics that this book is crossing over with. He's just
okay.
just
it's just
retconning.
in the story he has seen them before.
Yes, he has seen Predators before, and he's not telling them about it.
But he's not making a very good argument.
No.
He's just seeing the ship. We should blow it up.
we should blow that up, and they're like,
why?
Why would we do
Oh,
that?
no reason.
It just looks bad. I mean, and then the skulls come down. And he's like, I mean, come on.
Once the skulls come down, then it's
like-
like, okay, that's an actual case.
Well, then you go, all right, let's put a pin in this, and then we will leave. Like, we've located the ship. Now send the Justice League.
I'd rather
Figure it out.
pull the pin on the grenades we're gonna put in the ship.
That's fair. So they're like, all right, well, this seems like a problem. Maybe we shouldn't just jump in. Like, maybe we should be more cautious about it.
Yeah.
And so they end up, like, leaking to the press that they've discovered a derelict spacecraft, and maybe they might need some help on this one. You know, they don't want to lose control of the situation. So
If you leak to the press, you've possibly found a derelict spacecraft. You've already ruined it.
yeah.
Well, the place is gonna be swarmed.
Well, I mean, look.
Yeah.
No. Martian Manhunter's on the Justice League. We know aliens exist. Now, that being said,
Right, nobody cares.
This is also Star Labs. They deal with xenobiology. Like, they know about aliens. They deal with them all the time. But
Right.
also, they're acting like they've never seen an alien before, and that this,
Right. Oh, we're going to get untold technology from the ship, as opposed to all the other ships that you're already familiar with.
And we've talked about this to death. The idea that, like, well, why don't you just ask Superman for one shard of a crystal, or
Right.
anybody from space? The
Right.
Thanagarian nth metal alone would
Yeah.
make you rich beyond your wildest dreams, or advanced technology to the point of that of a utopia. But either way,
No, they all won't let us.
they all won't let us. and
all
it's-
of them won't let
And it's
us.
always the premise of an alien or predator crossover with our universe.
and it's because we ask. So, like, I'm not asking this time. I'm just taking the ship.
Just take it.
Yeah.
But we are afraid of the skulls and everything, so let's leak it to the Daily Planet. Maybe they'll tell Superman and he'll show up. Which, of course, they do. Superman is dealing with an...
Oh yes, I know this type of ship. I'm confiscating it.
No! What's funny is, yes, Superman doesn't recognize it because he's never encountered the Yautja before.
Yeah, but if like he had any kind of communication with Batman,
Right, yeah, but Batman doesn't talk about the Predator encounters. It's almost like he's embarrassed by them.
Or they didn't happen in this universe.
Well, and
Who
Batman
even
rarely
knows?
sees their ships. Like, Batman didn't see the... Well, no, he has, actually, because at the end of BVP1,
Yes.
they land in his
Yeah, they
backyard.
land, yeah.
And then, like, 6 of them come out. He
Yeah.
has one of their swords.
Yeah, he's very familiar with them.
Yeah.
And he would have done more research too. He would have tracked their ship,
Oh,
see which
absolutely.
star system they came from and crap.
Yep. He would have cataloged the metal made from their sword.
I guarantee you, he's like, if I tell the Justice League about this,
Right.
I'm gonna get so much shit from Clark, and probably from John. They'll be like, "I'm sorry, you murdered an alien
Hey,
species."
I didn't kill anybody. I fought him to a standstill. I filled him with animal tranquilizers, and then one of his own showed up, and then he killed himself
Yeah, but you
because
didn't
he
save
lost. I didn't have to
him.
save
You didn't save him from himself.
What?
You would have saved him as a person. You
I
would have
was
saved him.
surrounded by 8-foot-tall, equally hard-assed
Yeah,
guys.
but you're Batman. You would have found a way.
Yeah.
That's your thing.
And
I
you
was
didn't
kinda
call us
tired.
either.
I was also a walking hospital bed. He handed me my ass throughout the entire encounter. I was like 2 breaths away from collapse, okay? There's no effing way I would have stood up against all those predators. I was armed with a baseball bat.
Bruce, you could have called the Flash.
Okay, yes. It
We
was a
weren't
different
friends
time.
then,
I didn't do
yeah.
that a lot. It was like barely post-crisis. I was not calling the Justice League for help.
Well,
I
that's
was
fair.
barely acknowledging Superman's existence.
Yeah.
So anyway, Superman is doing some stuff. There's some bank robbers.
Doing Superman stuff.
Yeah, Superman.
Classic Superman
Yeah. Oh yeah. No.
villains, bank robbers.
Yeah, well, they're robber. Okay, no. There's like an armored car that has experimental plutonium inside,
Oh.
and so the robbers want like a ransom lest they release the plutonium. And the dudes inside, like one guy's like, "I'm just gonna let it out," and the other guy's like, "Yo, you're not gonna really do that, are you?" And he's like, "Maybe. I mean, I'm kind of nuts." And they're like, I would like to get out of here right now." And then
I changed my
Superman,
mind. I'm turning myself in. Get me out of this truck.
then Superman just picks up the van and like spins it in a circle, and the police are like, "What are you doing? They said they'd set up the thing." He's like, "No, they're so dizzy and so discombobulated, they won't be able to actually use their motor skills." And it's like, all right, fair point.
How do you know that?
I've done it a million times.
Maybe one of them has like a condition where like he's not susceptible to
Yeah.
getting dizzy.
Exactly.
Or one of them's dead because all the blood exited their body because you
Yeah.
centrifuged them way too fast.
Yeah. Or
No, I'm Superman. I super centrifuge them the exact specific right
Yeah.
amount to make them super dizzy without killing them.
well, I
That's
mean,
one of my powers.
Yes. I mean, that is Superman. He's Superman.
Yes, I know.
So he defeated them, and then he hands them off to the police, and the police are like, "Thanks a lot, Superman, you're great." And then Superman goes to the Daily Planet, where he runs into Lois. He was supposed to have like lunch with her, which I think he was in the middle of, but then left
So he left
be
to go
Superman.
deal with this.
So he missed like the after lunch dessert, and she gives him a hard time about it because that's like what we do with Lois in this time in our lives in the year 2000.
Right.
You know, they're married.
She wants to be married to Superman, but she doesn't want to like have any like understanding for what that means.
Right. She's just completely dispassionate about Superman's like, obligation to the world.
Right. What about your obligation to our marriage?
Right. It's like, why do we even do this? And it's like,
Why did you agree to marry me?
right.
You knew this was.
You knew
what
this
I
was part of
was.
it. You knew this was
You knew
because-
what this was.
I mean, it's true. And thankfully, Lois is actually capable and interesting because Michelini's writing it. So she's not just the heavy. It's really hard for a lot of these guys to just give us a Lois who is independent without also coming off as like a bitch.
Right.
And it's like, it's frustrating because like I understand because she's like, she is independent, she's fun, she's strong-willed. So while they're talking, he overhears the Star Labs report that like they found an alien spacecraft. They hope Superman will show up and help them out with it. And he's like, I gotta go. And she's like, that's fine. So then immediately when Clark leaves, she goes to Perry and she charters a plane to go to that place because she's like, I'm part of this. Like, if you are gonna go investigate, so am I. And I will get the story and you will save the day because you're Superman.
Exactly. It's not like you're going there as the planet. You're going there as Superman.
Right.
I'll
I'm
cover
going
the
for the
news.
planet.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm going to make money.
Yeah, yeah.
How are you telling? Oh, they're saying they're getting a plane, even
Yeah.
though she doesn't need a plane.
But she is gonna take one. She doesn't
gonna take
want
it.
him
Yes.
to know that she's going.
Oh.
That's how she's gonna
not
get there
actually
later
telling
in the
them.
story
I
instead of just
see.
going immediately.
So that she can then be in danger.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that's right. Well, otherwise, the only people in danger are Superman and this team of Star Labs scientists.
Who we don't
and who
know
cares
or
about them?
care
We
about.
never
Yeah, they're
met
all
them before.
expendable.
We'll never see
Right.
them again.
Right.
And for all intents and purposes, they're created to die. So, I mean, yeah, we need somebody that we care about in here.
Yeah.
So Superman shows up in, the jungle.
He's like, all right, I'll help you with this problem, even though it really doesn't require my presence. I could have sent anybody.
I could have said anybody, but it's a Superman book.
Sure.
And it's not a Justice League book, and we know how those are.
Yeah.
At least with the crossover with Predator. Lame and boring. So Superman shows up, he checks out the ship, he finds that there's no good entry point, so he crushes the outside of a panel, and when he opens it up, there's this frequency that blasts in his ear, and his face is filled with light, and he's like, nah. And now Superman starts
Doesn't have his powers.
to lose his power.
Yeah.
So that the Predator
So
is a
the Predator can
threat.
fight him. Yeah.
That's right.
It's like Mortal Kombat versus DC Universe.
Yes, it's exactly
It's just like, how could Superman fight Scorpion? Oh, well, he's magic weakened his powers.
right. Or Injustice, where it's like, oh, we have a
yeah.
Kryptonian pill that gives us the same strength level as Superman.
Yep.
Like, okay, fine. So Superman doesn't know that's the problem,
Right.
but not only did the defense mechanism of this ancient Predator ship infect Superman with a virus that makes him less powerful, it also sent a distress beacon to a neighboring contemporary Predator ship where a Predator catches that signal and goes, oh, we left a ship on Earth? Well, crap, I gotta go there and blow it up because I don't want Earthlings to know
To get
that
our
we're
Predator
coming here and get our
technology.
Predator tech.
Right.
Then they'll have shoulder-mounted cannons and stuff too.
Oh yeah, the Predators seem like they have really good tight protocols
They
about
do.
non-involvement.
According to this, they
That's
do.
just it, because if you lose, you have to blow yourself up.
Yes, but I
No
I always thought that
evidence.
was like a warrior thing.
yeah, that was
not
just like sore losing.
Yeah.
Where it's like, I'm
No,
gonna blow
no,
up the
that's-
whole area.
Well, it's both.
Yeah, it is.
Our political system has created a protocol whereby a predator must self-destruct and erase all trace of his presence
Yes.
if he comes into contact with an alien species, so that they can't.
If you lose, you can
If you
hunt it.
lose. Oh yeah, yeah. You
Yeah.
can't be left. You can't let your body or your technology be
You left
found.
behind. That's right.
Yeah.
That's actually, not only is that canon, but it's in a movie. And it's Alien vs. Predator Requiem.
I hate that.
I know.
I hate that they care. I don't like
Right,
that.
like,
they
why?
shouldn't. They should. I hate that they have organization and structure.
Yeah.
I just want them to be lone.
I understand.
Like bounty hunters.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
Go out
Again,
doing their own thing.
But they have like
Predator
medical
2.
kits and stuff in Predator 2. Like
Yeah.
that whole team.
Medical that's the thing. He's on the ship, and then 12 of them come out of the fucking
That's right.
mist.
Yeah. I mean,
But they're only on the ship waiting for the other guy to show up, and then they're like, oh, we lost. Okay, well, that's fine.
Yeah, but that means they travel with multiple people on a ship. It's a lot of them.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
suspicious, because also in Predator 1, we see there's a bigger ship that fires a small pod that one lone Predator's on. I assumed,
That makes more sense.
I also assumed that when it comes to Predators, just by virtue of the first Predator movie, that it's a one-way trip no matter what.
That's interesting.
You get fired off on a planet and
you kill as much as you
have
can.
fun until you die, right?
Why
And
would they do that?
I don't know, because it's
How would they keep going as a species?
well, they're an alien race. Not everyone.
I guess
gets to
only
go
when you get
hunting.
to a certain
Yeah.
point in your
Right,
life. And
he's
then-
had a bunch of kids, and so now he gets to just hunt until
is this
he
retirement?
drops. Yeah, I assume it's either retirement or it's no,
It's my last hurrah. I ride off into the sunset
Yeah.
or whatever, or a blaze of glory.
yeah, it's like being floated out onto the ice. Just off you go, Grandma. See you later.
What if it's
You're gonna have so
solitary
many
isolation?
adventures.
Yeah.
We're like, oh no, you're way too violent. We're just gonna ship you off to a
Yeah.
planet. You can go kill to your heart's
Yeah.
content
Like
out
the
there.
Hulk, his Illuminati
Yeah.
sends him off into space
Yeah.
to go to
Earth is-
or screw up Earth.
Yeah, no, we because humans do this, we craft narratives around things we don't understand. No, Earth is the Australia to the Yautja's English Empire. This is just where they send
Yeah.
their most undesirable predators.
Yeah, that guy was an asshole.
Yeah,
No,
that guy
normal
sucked.
predators are cultured and
We
sophisticated.
have
and art and
society. We
stuff.
have space travel.
Yeah, what?
Yeah.
What
How do you think we got here?
He cut their heads off? And then he collected their skulls and wore them, adorned
Oh my God.
his body
God.
with them?
I am so
What a
glad he
monster.
is not a part of our
I
society.
am sorry. I am so sorry. I didn't know. I was like,
Wait, you thought we were an entire planet of people who
How-
do that?
how
Like
would
our
we
whole
be able
culture
to
was
fly
that?
around?
That's one guy. How could you base your opinion on our species on the behavior of one individual?
Look at how he's dressed. Do you think we're all looking like that?
You guys have a lot to learn.
An interstellar affairs.
Yeah.
All right. If you want to join the galactic stage, you better,
I mean, the
better on the
movie was
ball.
called Predator. I don't know. I just thought.
Oh
maybe
yeah,
that
okay.
Had something.
Well, it
to
sounds
do
like you
with-
didn't think very much at all. It sounds like you took it at face value.
I guess I. Yeah.
I guess I did. Yeah.
Yeah. Why do you think we call him Predator?
Yeah,
He's a
that-
predator on our planet too.
That's like his serial killer name. It's Predator.
Yeah. Why would we call him a predator?
we're not
He hunts.
predators.
He's not a predator at all. But yeah.
Yeah, he's not eating them.
Yeah, no, he's just hunting them for sport. Like a murderer. Really, the movie should be called Murderer. So, that's all canon. So anyway, this
Anyway.
predator,
Did you see how many skulls he had on his ship?
that's a lot
Oh
of
my
skulls.
god.
That's a
And
lot of
like a
skulls.
varying biologies. Like there's,
Yeah.
I didn't see a lot of muskrats and like birds. Those were like rancors and xenomorphs and stuff. Anyway, so
So they get in the ship.
so they get in
Yeah,
the ship,
they get
and
in the
now
ship.
we know that like
There's more coming.
the Predator versus Superman is coming, because this is an old Predator ship, and those Predators, despite every other piece of fiction apparently indicating that they live for like 1,000 years, they don't live that long, or at least this guy didn't make it that
Or
long.
maybe this is from like 20,000 years ago.
Right.
Maybe he did live 1,000 years.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, the reality is like he probably just hunted until he died. Superman's like, all right, well, I'm not picking up anything with my X-ray vision or anything like that says this place is like hazardous or has any booby traps, which is insane. Like you mean tell me that an ancient Yautja ship doesn't have a ton of booby traps all over it. Especially if your protocol is to blow up every trace of your existence if it's discovered.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, that ship was. Apparently, there were a couple of issues. Like there was, you can see it on the outside of the ship. Like there were some wires missing. Like no, the ship was supposed to blow up
Superman
in the
says
event if
there's
the
like
Predator.
a self-destruct device.
And
that he
I'll
sees.
bet that it like wirelessly connects with the wrist thing. It's like if you blow up, your ship blows up. If you have a ship, which I have yet to see a movie where he has one, though Predator 2 does indicate he has a ship, but I don't think that's our Predator ship. I think that's just a Predator ship. Although he does keep going back and forth to it. So yeah, no, it's a ship. Never mind.
Yeah, why is he different than the one from the first movie? He only had a little pod.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's because they added the pod in post.
No, he wasn't even supposed to have a pod.
No, that little intro with like the spaceship and everything, that was added after test audiences where they were like, I don't think people are going to understand where the Predator came from.
Yeah.
It's like space, man.
Who cares?
Yeah.
What?
Well, I mean, that's
He
the trouble.
beamed down.
Oh,
I don't know.
It's like the Amazon, or it wasn't the Amazon, it was Colombia?
It was, South America.
Yeah. So they're like, oh, maybe that's just, a chupacabra or something.
It's just a monster who lives in the woods.
What? He has alien technology. He has another language.
That's why I'm so confused. How does that
Oh my
monster
God,
of myth
fine.
and lore have all this fancy
We
technology?
open the movie with like a spaceship that fires another little spaceship onto Earth. and
Thank
explain everything.
you.
Oh, yes.
My God. Okay, fine.
Change my whole
Okay,
premise
I've
about
changed
this
it from an
movie.
F to an A.
Great. Okay, I'm glad
Because you made that one
worked out.
change.
Thanks for that note. That
I
was
had
really
no
insightful.
imagination. I can't.
No.
If it's not on screen, it doesn't happen.
Well,
as far as I'm
at
concerned.
least we completely redesigned the Predator during filming. Because originally the Predator looked
Oh, it looked like a praying mantis.
like a
It was
bunch
so
of bullshit.
fucking weird.
He sucked. He was also played by Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Really
Yeah, for a little while.
interesting. I didn't
Until
know
they
that.
changed it.
Until
and
it
then
became
he's
different.
Kevin Peter Hall. But like still, no. Yeah, I've seen it.
Was he
and
like kicking and stuff? Was he doing like?
Yeah, no, he just had this like weird
kickboxing?
head. It was awful. It was like, it just sucked. Mostly you saw him when he was wearing the outfit for the cloaking approximation. Like it was like one solid color. But anyway. So Superman is like, all right, well, I guess it's fine. You guys can carry on. And then a bunch of mercenaries emerge from the forest and proceed to start taking hostages. They're just like, all right. And the mercs are from all over. The main merc is Australian, and he loves to hunt. Like, he's the Gary Busey of this crew. And he's a big asshole, and he loves kicking ass and hurting people and fighting with his knife. And so that's just, that the Predator's going to have to fight him at some point in this book. So one dude decides it's hostage-taking time, and then...
Well, Superman's there. That's all you can do. What
Right.
else are you gonna do?
Yeah, it's like,
Can't.
oh, Superman, crap, I'll kill her. Superman's like, oh.
You're just gonna make it bad.
Oh yeah, I certainly can't just like fly over there faster than you can pull the
Right.
trigger and break your finger.
Yeah, but this is where Superman's like, oh, uh-oh. Like, I can't do that. Well, before that happens, the older scientist who wants to blow up the ship just kicks the crap out of that merc's.
Oh, nice. Try nap time, Rambo.
Yep.
That's his line.
Yep. Well, because he says it's hostage-taking time.
Right.
And he's like, well, try nap
Try
time.
nap time.
This is the creator of Venom. So,
Yeah.
these are the lines.
I mean, that's fine.
It's actually really, I think this
bad.
is actually a really like well-executed story. It's frustrating
Yeah,
because
so far, so good.
It works, and also there is so little Predator in it, and I'm like, there aren't any more Superman versus Predators. Like, this is the only shot you have, and it's just a good story that's satisfying.
But you can't. Yeah, you can't have the Predator in there too often because.
Yes, he overstays his welcome.
Yeah.
You need compelling characters.
Yes. Yep.
And we have to settle for this. So Superman's like, maybe I'll just scare them into submission by picking up a Jeep and showing them my strength. So he does, and he's like, oh, the Jeep's really heavy.
Uh-oh.
And so
Uh-oh. It's that virus.
Yeah, it's that big, that big virus. So then the Nerks like take off into the forest, and Superman blows up one of their Jeep's gas tanks, and then the Star Labs crew takes Superman, who is now completely weakened from firing his heat vision, and this will happen a lot, where Superman's going to be like, oh no, I'm like almost at no reserves, I have no power left, but I have to just reach down deep and find a little more. 3 different occasions. He's like, I am totally spent. There's nothing I can do. I'm less than a regular human, but if only I could just find a little bit of strength. And then he flies, or he fires heat vision, or he has extra strength. And I'm like, do that like twice, but 3 times, come on.
Yeah,
But the team like picks up Superman, like, all right, let's just vamonos into the forest.
Sure.
And the mercs are like, hey, I think Superman's like in trouble.
Yeah,
This is
he didn't
great.
seem right.
He didn't seem right. I think we might actually have like an advantage here. So they call their ringleader, who is also a secret, brilliant scientist.
Okay. These aren't just any mercs, apparently.
Oh no. Well, they are, but like they work for this scientist who is doing research out here in the forest.
On aliens.
Yes. Well, he was hoping to find the alien craft as well and use it in conjunction with his, I guess you could call it, diabolical scheme.
I mean, presumably he heard about it from the news leak.
He did, but he's already been there. Like, it's not, I assume that the mercs, like, he had to have been employing these guys for a while, and they have been working. They know the jungle layout really well.
Yeah.
It's not like Superman flew in a week later. He flew in a few minutes after finding out the announcement. Lois isn't even on the tarmac of Metropolis.
Well, yeah, she shouldn't
But
be
she's still
because
getting
Superman
her
should have been able to
ticket.
get there in like 2 minutes.
Exactly.
Yeah. So yeah.
But
I guess they're just waiting for a
well, and they're protecting.
waiting for a high-tech thing to be discovered in the jungle right near them.
I think it's more like clandestine. Like the Star Labs team and this scientist both know that there is an ancient derelict, technology
They both went from
available.
the same source
Exactly.
information.
Yes, and that's from
That
local legend.
predated. It was before the start of this book.
Yes, that's right. But yes, there's a local legend about the Predator, of course, and how it like tormented the people here and then eventually a lone
It came from
warrior.
the sky.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, but you'll see them in
love
like
the fucking drawing.
Mayan cave depictions that describe. Actually, they're Mayan painting depictions on like the side of mountains / temples that depict the Predator. And I gotta tell you,
So yeah, he's been here for thousands of years.
yeah, like the Predator just keeps coming. He's been coming for decades, if not hundreds, thousands of years. But we see that like there were these warring tribes. That's what the scientists explained to Superman what they discovered, which they find a huge hole in the ground, which of course comes from not the space laser that the Predators use in AVP-1 to drill into the subterranean Mayan temple, which by the way, there also is one in this. I guess they just love temples and Predators. I don't know. But actually that's a crater from the like wrist-mounted explosion that the Predator triggered.
Now, in these depictions, there are guns, so this must have
yeah, it
been
can't be
from
that-
after European contact.
Yes. No, this is only like maybe several decades, if not a couple hundred years ago.
Well, they're
Okay.
bad at drawing guns. Those are more like,
I mean,
flintlocks.
This
Yeah.
one's literally a pistol, so it can't have been more than like the 1800s, late 1800s. At
Well,
the
don't forget, in
earliest.
Prey, they did have a pistol, and that was in the late 1700s.
I didn't see.
Well, don't forget the
You didn't
Chinese
see Prey?
No.
I have it on Blu-ray. We'll watch it. It's awesome.
Okay.
No,
It is great.
It's so good.
Yeah, but it's not one of them old-fashioned pistols.
No, that's
it's
like a Glock.
modern. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's just
Yeah.
look. Maleev is doing his best.
Look, the Chinese had gunpowder
Gunpowder.
and rockets for years.
Yeah, but they didn't think to
Centuries.
like miniaturize it into a gun.
No.
Eventually, a lone warrior emerged and fought with the Predator, and succeeded. But then the Predator blew up, and that's why we have a hole in the ground.
Okay.
But I guess like some damage was sustained when the Predator ship landed here, and so as a result, like, because I'm assuming that like again, if a Predator has his own ship and he decides to self-destruct, then it like wirelessly connects with the ship, and so it blows up the ship too. That's the only way it would work.
Yeah.
But it didn't, so there's a ship here, but not a Predator.
Okay.
These are great.
The cave paintings.
Yes.
Or the
Or cave art.
Yeah, the arts.
Or the art. Yeah. I don't think that modern people would make art like this in that culture. I mean,
no.
maybe they would. This looks like ancient.
It feels like it has to be hundreds of years old. I mean,
Yeah.
It reminds me of like Native American cave paintings and so forth.
Yeah.
But I also love the leaps in logic that Machu, their guide, takes in these depictions. Like he fills in a lot of gaps, and it also factors into the premise, which is like Superman's never met a Predator before. Presumably, if you're reading the story, maybe you've never seen the Predator before, or you've only seen the Predator movies. So
That'd be interesting if you didn't know what a Predator was, so you're reading this and you're like, what's this crazy alien
Yeah, I know, right?
they've invented for this
Whoa,
story?
this dude's scary as hell.
These
How come they
are who the Mayans worshipped.
This is interesting. This story could almost be describing the original Predator movie.
And it more or less does.
Yeah.
And I think that's the implication by Michelini is, like, there are hundreds of Predator the movie stories happening throughout history, and they all kind of work out the same way. You know, Predator finds a group of people, and that's a leap that I don't normally expect, but I also kind of appreciate the idea that like Predators really only show up at opportune times when there are wars going on or fighting happening. Like the Predator slips in during an already established battle between two local indigenous people, as opposed to him just like showing up at someone's house and being like, "You seem buff, blammo!" Like that. This is fine. And so as a result, like a lone hero or warrior can emerge from like an ocean of battle and challenge the Predator mano a mano. That's at least what the Mayan depiction suggests.
Yeah.
Which I think is cool. So then a helicopter flies overhead, and the mercs are like, "Oh, that's not good. Take that out." And they fire, a missile at it. And Superman's like, "I have to muster a little strength and fly up there and save the helicopter," which of course has Lois Lane on it. And so he brings the helicopter down and saves Lois. And he's like, "Lois, damn it! What are you doing?"
You picked the worst time to show up in one of my adventures.
Yeah, I lost. This is one of those stories, like where I encounter weird kryptonite and I lost my powers, but I'm actually infected with like an alien virus.
He flew up there and still like managed to land the helicopter.
Yeah.
But his vision isn't working very well.
It's all blurry
You
and
can't do
stuff.
like the heat vision or X-ray.
Nope.
But you can still fly.
Yeah, and have super strength.
Yeah.
Just a little bit. A little bit of it.
Oh, and bullets still bounce off of you.
They do. But he notices them much more deliberately.
I get it now. I get why you guys are so afraid all the time.
Yeah, that's right. Thanks, Bill. my visage is a critique of the whole human race. So then the mercs are. So then Superman's like kind of weakened, and the mercs show back up, and they take everybody hostage, and they're like, "All right, let's go."
Okay. And what is their plan?
Their plan is to
what are they gonna
bring
do with
them to their benefactor.
And I guess hold them for ransom or something.
The benefactor has like weird plans, but it's not like we're gonna harness Superman's DNA or we're going to like have sex with everybody here. Like it's just they go into like holding cells, and it's just like, well, we'll deal with you later, I guess.
Sure.
Superman, good. Get the lube.
Is this Bruce Willis?
Certainly that is the visual inspiration that Malieve uses for the Australian bad guy, Merc.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
And then we see the Predator.
Oh, yes, and that issue ends with the Predator establishing the fact that he is there.
I am here now.
I am also in the book.
Am I the only one? There was a whole ship that responded. Was I the only one on that ship?
Yes, you were.
I see.
There will be some Predators in this Predator crossover.
In your Predator book? Hello?
Ding, ding, ding.
I really hate that.
Was that the last page of the book? Does this show you where the book started and end? I can't tell.
I was thrown off because the last page of the first issue also ends with like just a hero shot of the Predator and nothing else.
Right. Okay, so we get him on page 30.
It's pretty bad. But if you go by script rules, that's only that's minute 35. So like really,
35 out of 49 pages in the book. Okay, that's definitely in the back third, but okay.
Yep. But he doesn't do anything.
Right.
Don't forget.
Don't forget, he just stands there. Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
All right.
Well, he stands there until it's time to go back to a ship.
That's right.
That's not his ship.
I mean, we've got him there, and we've got Lois there already. So actually, things are kind of going along at a clip. I thought she was going to show up quite a bit later.
No, no.
It should have taken her like at least a day.
At least. She's
probably
from
more like
Metropolis
a couple days
to like equivalently like Argentina. Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah. And not just like to the airport, but then into the jungle from there. You know, you could get there in a day.
You should charter a helicopter from the airport that was civilization to the jungle.
You could, but it would have required a lot of coordination.
Exactly.
All right.
So Nigel, the Australian leader of the mercenaries, leads everyone, like the cast of the book, deeper into a like subterranean ancient Mayan temple where their benefactor Ward is stationed or holed up. Like he's got a whole base of operations.
Yeah, it's a secret lair.
Yes, but he doesn't treat it like a secret lair. It's just like his lab or his base.
It's a lot of steps going to his lab.
I know, they go up the friggin' ancient steps. I'm like, I gotta take a leak. Oh, you gotta go down into the jungle. But we're already like in a mountain, up 1,000 stairs. Like, yeah, I know.
Yeah, this is how they stayed so fit.
Yeah, that's why it reeks in here, because people go around the corner and they just pee in a corner.
Not to mention the defecating.
Oh, of course, the defecating.
Oh.
Yeah. They just find any convenient ledge and just poop over the side. So Ward is there, and he's like, "Ah, good." And they find electricity there somehow. I'm like, "All right, whatever." They got like a space laser on the top.
Why
of the
is there
temple.
space laser?
Well, because they're cloud seeders. That's the plan.
That's how they get to internet.
Yeah, beam internet through that space laser. No, they are going to seed the clouds themselves with our space laser, or with our temple-mounted laser beam.
Okay.
Seed the clouds with what?
Oh, what indeed? What indeed? Ward reveals his nefarious scheme almost immediately. He's like,
oh,
holy crap, Lois Lane's here? That's perfect. You can narrate the documentary that we are shooting right now about what I'm doing that will progress humanity into a golden era of progress. And, Lois,
and how many people are going to die?
Most of them.
So he's a Bond villain.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
this is a James Bond
yes.
Superman versus Predator.
But it's a much worse Bond villain than you can imagine. Like this Bond villain, I'm like, oh man.
Oh yeah.
Right.
I
Do
just
that.
read it.
Yeah. He's like, you know what's a real problem? People with like Down syndrome. That fucking crestfallen face. I've never seen a fuck Ricky react that way. Why would you say that?
So he's into eugenics.
Yeah.
He's the Nazis. Or a lot of other people who weren't Nazis
There are a
at the
couple
turn
of
of the
Germans
century.
on the squad. We don't really meet them by name, but like they go like Gott in Himmel, and like it sounds. But
Yeah.
The other W's or Z's or V's.
yeah. So apparently the plan is that he's already like got this plan, but he needs some kind of like xenobiological element, and maybe the Predator's got something or whatever.
I thought I would steal it from one of the aliens that are already on Earth, but hey, we got another one.
But why not? Yeah. But no, he's not going to steal anything from Superman. It's more like I've been looking for the ship to get like a component that I need. Basically, I'm going to fire this virus into the clouds, and then it's going to get into like the drinking water of humanity, and then only people who have like just genetic issues will be poisoned to death, and then humanity can flourish.
So this is racist water.
Yeah. I mean, that's the plan. It's not racist. It's prejudice. It's
bigoted, morally horrific.
Yes.
But also doesn't make any sense. He's talking about irradiating. He's setting radiation.
Yes.
How is radiation going to selectively
Right.
target people who have very specific genetic
Right.
differences?
Well,
you
because
know
it's
how-
coded with this kind of like viral element that's going to recognize issues with genetic code.
He says they're going to blast bioengineered isotopes into the atmosphere. That is, no. You can't bioengineer isotopes.
No.
Isotopes are variants of elements, which is like a more fundamental thing, a smaller thing than could ever be manipulated
Right.
by biology. So no.
Right. But, it's in this book.
Yeah, but it's here.
And also, don't forget, Superman stopped an armored car that had
there was nuclear,
there was
stuff,
nuclear stuff in there.
Yeah.
Maybe they're connected, but it never
Oh,
really comes
also
up.
he got hit with a thing.
Yeah.
A virus.
Right.
You called it. Maybe it was radiation.
Yeah, well, it's not wards. That was a defense mechanism that the Predators had, that if they ever encounter, I guess, like a yellow sun-soaked Kryptonian, it'll protect them and be able to save them.
Was it red radiation? Is that what he
No,
got
it's
hit
just
with?
a big white. It's just a big yellow flash.
Well, that's when they're like, no, that was designed to vaporize you.
Right.
The fact that you're not vaporized is very impressive.
No, it is a virus because later, Superman's gonna start getting sick and have the flu, and then the Predator's gonna be like, oh, we used to do that. Yeah, sorry about that. Almost like maybe it's kind of paralleling Ward's idea. Like ancient Predators used to have the same idea. It targeted or created weakness. No, I don't know.
He hears it as a sound, actually.
He does.
To him, it's a
Yeah, he hears the sound that they didn't hear.
He calls it
Well,
a
yeah,
microburst,
it's a
too
single-
compacted for human hearing.
It's a single note that has a symphony of other notes in it.
Yes.
Just like the Kryptonian singing.
That's right, which kills Darkseid.
Yeah.
But he also literally gets the flu as a result of it.
No, that's just his own immune system finally being
that's
like
just him
human
able
for
to
a
get
while.
the flu.
Yeah. He's
just
just sick from the jungle. He got bit
Yeah.
by a mosquito.
I've never washed my
He
hands
drank
in my
some of
life.
the water and he got dysentery.
Yeah. Superman, what are you doing? It's okay.
I could drink anything.
It'll be fine.
Oh God, what's happening?
This is terrible. I'm expelling liquid from both ends. But anyway, so to make it worse, Ward shows them like a video of them testing out his bioengineered isotope water. Yeah. And I'm like, that's like really not okay. Like, this is horrible.
You did not need to show us that.
I
it's
did
bad
not
enough to describe
I need to hammer it home. No, I need you to see this.
I needed to show you a pod going off of a ship at the beginning of the movie. You gotta see this.
Well, also, don't forget.
You won't get it otherwise.
There's a
Right.
DC Dark Horse crossover. I don't see no Comics Code Authority on here, so we are going to show it because normally I'd have to allude to it.
Right.
I've always had to like go around. You know, Venom doesn't eat brains. He just says he's going to. But I'm going to show. Oh my God! Like, this is the most horrific thing that happens in this Predator crossover.
Yeah.
Anyway, so everyone calls Ward like a Nazi and a horrible monster, and he's like, yeah, like, no, it's fine.
Yeah, well, Lois says, you murdered him. He says, not murder, my dear, science.
Science. No. No. Can you imagine? Like,
I thought he was going to say, like,
no, it's
I don't know,
eugenics.
like, mercy.
Right.
Or,
yeah, right.
I euthanized him.
Yeah.
No, just a blanket.
No, it's science.
Science. It's science.
That's
I kill lab rats all the time. And we never call us murderers for that.
Oh my God! You dropped an atomic bomb on a whole country. You murdered thousands of people.
Murder?
No, it's science.
I science the hell out of them.
science them.
And I'm going to do it again.
To death with that huge bomb.
Oh, wow.
It's science if you're trying to learn something. You already built it.
I learned it. You
and
know
then
that it works.
And then you used it on him to kill him.
Right.
That's not science. Maybe developing it, you could argue, is horrible science.
Yes.
But the actual act of using it on someone is definitely
technically
not
murder.
science.
Yes.
What if it was not a murder? Scientific method.
Right.
I had a theory. I tested it. It proved to be
That
right.
was the test. That was science because that was part
It's
of
certainly
it.
science. I shortened it to a very short.
This plan is not science. I know what's going to happen when
Right.
I seed these clouds.
Yeah.
That's not science.
Like,
But this was
Yeah.
that video.
Yeah. And also, I only did it the one time.
Right.
I did that one time. It worked. Now I need my shit to work on my like Mayan weapon, on my ancient Mayan
Right.
laboratory, and then I'm gonna do it to everybody.
What if he's like, I only did it the once and it totally worked? What if the water wasn't the problem? What if
Yeah.
that dude just choked?
Exactly. I don't know. Yeah. I mean, then he'd be like, well, this guy is kind of an idiot. Like, Ward does not strike me as a kind of like really thoughtful,
He also doesn't get into a whole lot of detail as to who exactly is going to die.
No, he doesn't. And it's actually kind of interesting because I thought that there was going to be an implication that we're going to reveal, because we have this like female black leader of this expedition that like, oh, don't worry, and we're going to solve these other problems too. Like,
Right.
whoa, what?
It would be amazing if periodically throughout the book
He adds more
he
people to the
mentions,
list.
of course it will affect
The Irish.
Yeah, like whoa, it just keeps getting bigger.
Yeah,
like this is
you keep
not
adding people to the
genetic
list.
problems
Yeah.
anymore. It's like dwarfism, spina bifida, Down syndrome, nearsightedness.
Yeah. A predilection for, susceptibility to disease.
Yeah, if you have genetic markers for alcoholism.
Right. Italians.
Yeah. Whoa. These were at least medical terms right up until that last one.
Right, and they were kind of loose. Like, you were really on like pretty uneasy ground as we were digging ourselves deeper in this hole. And then you won't believe how this story goes, because it's like Superman versus Predator, man. All you had to do was the Predator come to Metropolis and he shoots Superman with a shoulder cannon that also depowers him, and then they have to fight for real. Like, that's all you had to do. Or Superman's at the Fortress of Solitude, and he's got some kind of like a Kryptonian affliction. Maybe he is in the menagerie. He's at the zoo, and like this is new species that he puts in there because he keeps like the last species of doomed civilizations in the menagerie. Sometimes, other times it doesn't exist. But like one of them, it like licks him and it infects him and it makes him weak. And so then the Predator hunts Superman in the Fortress of Solitude. But like this is like, how about I talk about the dangers of people like Ward, but like why though? Like, what's the Predator have to do with this? And then Shane Black is like, well, in The Predator, predators use genetic material from all of their prey only to make themselves more powerful. And actually, autism is a superpower. And that's why they're here now. They're going to steal our autism and they're going to augment themselves.
We've gone far field from the Predator concept.
Yes.
When we're doing
When
this
that
stuff.
happened, I should have left the theater.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
I was already like
Matt Berry in Toast of London, you just scream an expletive so loud it breaks the sound barrier.
Yeah, I was so angry and I still am today. And that movie came out years ago.
Yeah, I can tell.
So anyway, so he's like, okay, anybody. So Lois, since you're a celebrity, you'll narrate the documentary.
Oh, well, or what? You'll murder me?
Like you murdered that poor boy in the video. Anyway, she's like, no, and he's like, that's fine. I'll just get like somebody else.
I'll just have someone else do it. I didn't know you were even coming, so I don't. It's not like you rejecting me is going to alter the plan in any way.
That's exactly what happens. He does name drop like a celebrity of the time, which I'm like, okay.
Oh God, why would she do that?
Right, because I'm so convincing. You know, because my argument is irrefutable.
Because I'm clearly correct.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, this radiation is also going to kill people who have the recessive genes that are not expressed.
Yeah, millions will die. Millions.
No, their genes are recessive. It's not there.
Yeah. No. But it is though.
But it's like you carry it, but you don't express it. So you don't have the condition.
But you could
if
carry it over.
people with that condition have a child, there's a 1 in 4 chance the child will have it if they
I do
get
not like
both
those
of the
odds,
recessive
so-
genes. So in order to get rid of it completely, I do have to kill everyone who might pass on the recessive gene.
Do you realize you're probably going to kill everyone on the planet?
Right. Like, who doesn't have some recessive gene for one condition that could be perceived as causing problems?
Right.
Yeah,
Like,
to this weird water you have.
And also, are you exempt from it? Like, will there be a sequence where you drink your own water and then die? No. Which I'm like, what? No, instead he gets killed by the predator. I'm like, fine, you know.
Yeah.
But the predator's not doing it because, like, you're gross.
Yeah. That would be amazing.
The predator's like, he's in the shadows like, I gotta get the fuck off this planet.
What? Superman's like, would you please? The car's like, gladly.
It's like, disc. No. What? Anyway, that's the villain. This
Superman's
is the
like,
real
I don't kill you.
he's
I
the
don't
real
have to
villain.
save you.
That's right.
I learned that from a friend of mine.
Batman's here too. He's like, yeah. What are you doing here? Inflating the value of this book. Goodbye.
You're welcome.
So anyway, they chain up Superman. And so they lead Superman and company, you know, through the catacombs of this underground Mayan ancient civilization when, you know, the old guy, he gets one up on, you know, their captors, and so they overwhelm them. Most of the crew of the Star Labs expedition like runs off, but Marla trips and falls, and she almost falls off the side of like the cliff. And Superman tries to save her, and the old guy is like, "Run! Like, what are you doing? Like, we got to get out of here.
They're coming.
They're coming.
We barely escaped.
And Superman's like, if we stoop to their level, you know,
right.
it's not worth it."
Yeah.
Also, Superman's too weak to pull her up off the ledge.
Yeah.
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 He still has huge muscles and stuff, though.
Right. Right.
He's
like,
big.
Oh no! Now you're just a really strong human. Maybe it's because his outfit is really warm because he's in the jungle and he doesn't have like the ability to regulate his body temperature because he's also got like the flu or something. So
Yeah, he's definitely like
he's sweating bullets in this book, and it's like, yeah, man, take your cape off.
No.
You're wearing boots. Come on, it's so impractical. Making Superman a regular guy and then putting him in the Superman costume, I'm like, oh yeah, that's not doing you any favors. It makes you look really silly. I don't know why it works for Batman. I'm sorry, but yeah. So anyway,
Because Batman's always a regular guy.
that's true. That's true. Yeah. Yeah. So they're captured immediately, and then by the way, like they're captured immediately, and also so is the team that goes further. So all of it was for nothing, but at least they didn't get executed.
Yeah.
But also we seeded, oh no, who is this old guy? And for a minute, I remember thinking, maybe it's Martian Manhunter in disguise. He was like, like maybe the Martians fought the Predators, like some untold thousands of years ago. And like, so Jean needed to like make sure, no, he's ex-military, this old guy.
Yeah. Okay.
And
He's just a character.
he is the star of his own Predator movie we never see. Except we do actually see it. We do a flashback. So then, you know, we got mercs outside the cave who are guarding the entrance, from who knows, everyone who would cause trouble for Ward are in prison.
Yeah, nobody even knows that
This is going on. But then the Predator shows up and kills them, and then
Yeah, but this was leaked on national news.
That's true. People
That's
could be
true.
descending
People
on
will
this
be
place.
just coming to try to find it.
Which
yeah.
they don't, by the way. That'd be fun if you get like Lex Luthor, and you got like all kinds of different groups
Yeah.
all on their way
You
down.
just get the CIA going in.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
the U.S. government. You got like, the U.S. government wants in, and they hire LexCorp to do all the
Oh my
work
God,
for
you
us.
guys are screwed.
I know, that'd be so great. Nope, they didn't do it. So Superman is in prison. It's actually a really fantastic page
Yeah.
of just Superman in bondage and weakened. And
Yeah.
it's just like, man, Maleev, I'm so sorry you had to do this crossover. I mean, that being said, it adds to the gravitas of a book that like barely anybody read. So, and Michelini is like a seasoned veteran. Like he's telling a real story.
Yeah.
Silly ass Nazi Bond villain notwithstanding.
Right. It is a real story. I mean, he has an idea,
Mm-hmm.
an interesting idea behind it.
I think he has a couple of ideas that he's smashing together. I think he
That-
had an
well,
idea.
that's definitely what this
I mean,
is.
yeah, because
Yeah.
that had no place.
Nobody
in the story.
would put that in the book in his
because-
pitches for just a regular
I mean,
Superman book.
If it wasn't in the book, this is just Batman vs Predator 2.
Yeah.
Like you're just you need a non-superpowered DC character. Like this is just Green Arrow versus Predator, which would have been
right.
cool, but wouldn't have sold as well.
All right. So how are there going to be 2 more books?
I know, right?
The Predators showed up. We know the whole plan.
Yeah, we have the whole plan.
And we have 2 books left.
We have 2 more books left.
All right.
Yeah. So the whole team's in jail. Marlo's talking to the old guy. Old guy, you got a lot of secrets going on. And he's like, yeah, that's me. Yep, a lot of secrets. Mr. Secrets over here. It's like, we know.
Yeah.
So then, Ward tries to pitch Lois on the documentary series that he's working on.
Yeah.
She says no. Ward suggests Jerry Springer may be a good candidate to voice the documentary.
I mean, that would be a better choice than
I'm like,
Lois.
well, he is like a gross opportunist.
Right. So I'm not saying I agree with him, but
Yeah.
let's hear what he has
Let's
to
hear
say.
everybody's side. And then here's a chair. See what you do with it.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Let's
they
have
attack
you
each
and
other.
Superman hash it out here. Hash out your differences.
Yeah.
I'm just saying,
Over this,
I made the
this
chairs
radical
light enough you
idea.
can pick them up.
You could pick them up, but heavy enough to do some damage if you were to bring it down hard on your aggressor.
Take a couple screws out though. Make the legs come off. People like them.
Yeah, we want it to collapse. I love they have cells.
Yeah, they do have
You guys
cells.
really thought everything.
Well, we're hatching a nefarious scheme here.
Better have some
Figure a few do-gooders are going to try to stop us.
Yes. So they're being guarded by mercs. The Star Labs people lure them closer. They get the upper hand. They take away their weapon. How many times is this going to happen? Where
Right.
the mercs have the upper hand on the lab technicians. The lab technicians plus Superman overwhelm the mercs. They get away. They don't get too far because of the morality. The mercs catch them and they go back to jail. That's
And also because Superman is a human.
yeah.
Right.
Oh, that's true. Superman could have solved this
That's
problem immediately.
the whole thing, yeah.
So then they escape and they leave and they take their weapons too. So now they're armed and dangerous. This our heroes.
So now the debate is going to be do we escape or do we go back and stop them?
No.
No.
No,
Okay.
they're we need to leave and call the mainland and deal with them.
I see.
Superman's I'm going to go back and stop them because I'm Superman, even though I have no business doing it. And I should just call the Justice League.
Right. I'm also hideous.
Just that one uncomfortable and awkward depiction. Yeah, well.
Yeah, this one's a little rough too.
Oh no, my muscles are melting and I'm just becoming fat.
I guess that's what's happening.
No.
We'll say that.
Yeah.
Oh God, I'm just a giant thumb on top of my body.
Yeah. So, Superman's I'll go back. And Lois don't. I love you. I can't because I'm only married to Clark Kent and I can't let that on.
Oh, yeah.
There's actually a funny sequence where she's just I will stay with you. And he's don't. I need to go alone. I'm sort of married to the idea. And she's all right. And so she goes off with the crew. Else Superman goes, doubles back to, stop Ward. Which
Yeah.
I'm how are you going to do that? Meanwhile, Ward sends his mercs out to go recover the Star technicians. Superman finds his way back to the derelict craft, where it is now strung up by some recently hunted or predated bodies, and he finds their skulls in a handy pile, and
Yeah,
he's
jeez.
nah. And so then Superman almost blows up, and he's what the hell was that? The Predator has fired his shoulder laser cannon at Superman. Finally, a little bit of fighting. Sweet. Meanwhile, the Star Labs team is kind of trying to figure out where they should go. They can hear the engines of the trucks from the mercs heading their way. And Marla asks for an assault weapon. What's interesting about that is that earlier in the book, she refuses a weapon because she hates guns.
Yeah,
right?
that's when she falls off the cliff. and
Exactly. That's
almost
what
dies.
causes her to almost die.
Yes.
So then, the older guy's like, here you go, you take it. And then she immediately fires into the air and she goes, we're over here. She is convinced by Ward's plan.
What?
Marla's in on the eugenics plot.
Are you fucking
She's like,
kidding
you
me?
look like you could use a sexy lab
Beg
assistant
your pardon?
who's also brilliant and a scientist. Yeah, no, that's what she does. She's like, yep, you were just that convincing. I'm in.
So she doesn't like guns, but she likes the eugenics plan.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Guns are messy, Ethan.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, she believes in the progress of science above all else.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, but that's not science. But okay, like, that's why we revealed that she's
a
crazy.
caricature
Of like a too-driven, morally compromised
Yeah.
scientist.
well, but like a liberal do-gooder,
Yes.
but who also likes communism.
Yeah.
Right? Because they're all about the good of everybody, but
Oh, sure.
secretly they're also wanting to kill everybody.
Oh, yeah.
But they won't touch guns.
Right. Yeah.
He calls her a clumsy liberal.
He does.
At one point.
Yes.
He said, "Guns don't kill people; clumsy liberals do."
Yes.
And now she
Is one.
is
Like,
part of the
the
eugenics
problem.
plan.
Yeah. Now she's a Nazi.
Yeah.
Like what?
Okay.
So Superman squares off against the Predator. Predator's like, all right, you barely dodged that shoulder cannon. He kind of holsters it,
Uh-huh.
and
It's like,
Now
all
they're
right,
gonna fight hand to
All
hand.
right.
all right, you look pretty buff. Let's do this.
All right.
Let's go.
This could be a
All
fun
right,
Dad,
Dad.
I'll take you on.
I gotta blow up that ship in a minute, but yeah, I got time for a fight. So, he pops the blades. He fights Superman. Superman kind of clocks him one. Predator's like, okay, enough
With
of
a
this.
stick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, you hit me with a stick?
That's it. I'm getting my lasers cannon out.
Yeah,
here
I wanna
again.
try the laser cannon
So
again.
Superman flies back into the ship. He hears the countdown that sounds like a countdown, even though he's like, "What the hell is that?" You know damn well that's I mean, I'm not walking closer to that noise. So the Predator derelict ship explodes. There.
All right.
My work here
now
is
that's,
done.
Yeah. Okay. So now the Predator can leave,
Yeah. But he doesn't.
but he doesn't. See, well, as long as I'm here.
Oh, I mean, I am.
Might as well hunt a little bit.
I'll
Right.
predate a bit.
Well, I do know that this place has good hunting in it.
Yeah.
Because, the ship here, when we're double parked, might as well stick around. So, so Nigel shows up with the Mercs, and because there's multiple trucks. So one truck goes and picks up Marla and the Star Labs team, and she's like, "All right, here you go, folks. I'm joining the Nazis." And so they leave, and Nigel, the Australian badass, he goes to the kitchen to find Superman, and so he beats the shit out of Superman, or at least he tries to. And then Superman, he's like, I'm gonna get my ass kicked, but I'm gonna have to rally my strength. Picks up their Jeep, and I'm like, oh, you know how hard it is to pick up a Jeep?
I can barely move.
I can barely
but
stand,
if
but
I rally my strength.
I'll just lift a car.
It's not a Jeep. It's a Humvee.
Oh, sorry. I'm only borrowing it. Wait, no, that's Sean
I'm
Connery.
only borrowing.
I'm only borrowing a Humvee. So then the Predator goes into strict Predator mode. He gets his heat vision going. He's hiding in the trees. He's
Yeah.
watching Superman. He's like, wait a minute. This guy should be more powerful than he is, but he's weak as shit. Now I'm gonna
Right.
watch this.
How come sometimes he's really powerful, can lift a car, and sometimes he can barely move?
It's really inconsistent.
I don't understand.
The Predator is like the editor. It's the Predator. I'm hunting for a good story. So, Superman thinks he sees the Predator or hears him. He doesn't, or at least he kind of does because his senses are kind of fucked up.
Right.
So then he goes back into the jungle, with the team. Marla makes her case with Ward. Ward doesn't go like, "But you're black. You're one of those people I'm gonna kill." No, that does not come up.
No.
He's not racist.
Right.
He's bigoted.
Right.
He was like,
Against the infirm.
I'll kill you
Yes.
later myself. The water won't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's like I'm going to start with, the people with genetic problems,
Yeah,
and then
and
we'll
then-
see. And then we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see how things go.
Yeah, it's not a snow. We don't call it a snowball because it gets smaller.
Okay, this is really messy drawing because of how they're standing and then how her hair goes into the background.
Yeah.
Her
Yeah.
hair is the same as the shadows in the back.
I know.
Yeah.
With the lines and
It
everything.
looks like
doesn't make any
her
sense.
hair is this
goes out of
giant
nowhere.
pile.
She suddenly becomes freaking Medusa?
Yeah.
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 Yeah, it's very strange.
It's a strange choice. But also, Maleev is a superhero comic book artist. I mean, he's also a consummate artist.
That's why I'm drawing her in a bikini. I'm essentially drawing her naked.
I mean, why not? But also, like, I'm drawing.
She is a woman in a comic book, after all. Let's not get crazy here.
I'm drawing a Superman versus Predator book, and I've been drawing like just these swaths of sequences of people in lab coats talking to each other. Like, I gotta do something to keep I gotta keep myself occupied here. Like, they granted me a sequence where I got to draw like 6 cars. Thanks. I signed on to draw 2 things, and so far I can think of 2 things wrong with this title: Superman versus Predator.
You got to draw ancient Mayan images of what a predator would look like.
And you got to draw temples.
Oh my god, you got to do some cool shit, man.
Yeah, there's some cool stuff.
Right, but I didn't sign up to do that.
Right.
I'm here to draw Superman.
This wasn't Superman versus cool-looking Mayan temples.
Or Superman has a bunch of long, boring conversations with regular people.
All right, well,
you're going to draw a Superman comic. Sweet! And he doesn't have any powers, and he talks the whole time.
You just pitched this book. That's exactly what this book is. Oh, and the Predator's also kind of in it.
Okay, I'll tell you what. I'll let you do a shot of Marla where she's just in the foreground, and all you see are her boobs.
Just her breasts.
Down to her crotch.
Yeah.
And the rest is just cut off, and
Well,
no
look,
reason for it
you
whatsoever.
don't let me do that. I'm just going to go ahead and do it. That's how I frame the shot.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, it is like, it's a very cinematic shot.
No, it is, yeah.
But, I mean,
Every once in a while, you get to draw 3 dots, and then something blows up.
Hey.
That's pretty good.
And don't forget also, though, that like while the subject matter can be like really, really messed up, don't draw any heads exploding or anything.
No.
Draw the explosion, and then there's no head, and then the fact that there's no head. But like, please don't get too graphic.
Right.
Do me
You
a
can
favor.
draw skulls, but not them turning into skulls.
No, not the progress between head and skull.
And no skulls on the people's uniforms, even though they are definitely Nazis.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
Well, they're contemporary Nazis.
Yeah.
Although I would have said, in the year 2000, that contemporary Nazis might not be so obvious, but history has not been kind. So Superman's like, all right, I'm gonna go in and continue my plan. So he goes to the mouth of the cave where those mercs are, and he's like, well, different mercs because the other mercs were killed by a predator. But Superman's like, ho, I'm here. Listen, I'm Superman. I could like crush you with my hands or pick you up and drop you from the sky.
Please don't shoot me.
Yeah, and they're like, all right. And so they just give up.
Oh, so
One guy
these ones
gives
didn't
up.
get
One
the
guy.
message that he was weak.
Yeah, he bonks them. Like, they're in the street, 3 Stooges, and then one guy is like, I'll shoot you, and he's like, and he's
do you
like,
think that's
George
gonna go?
Reed being like, but then a bullet might bounce off and hit you. So, give me that gun.
And then he takes the gun and he shoots him. He's like, wow.
Like, wait a minute.
All right.
All right. Well, there is a
Desperate
period.
times.
There actually is a period. I mean, it's during the reign of the Superman when Superman proper comes back and he's in his Kryptonian healing suit and he has no powers and he gets flight boots from like a member of LexCorp and just loads up on guns and he's like, "Let's go! We're gonna shoot Cyborg Superman and Mongol and ho pew 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 pew." And I'm like, wow, what a Superman moment that was. Hope my mullet doesn't get in the way of this. Ah, yeah, business in the front, party in the back. Bullets in the front.
I've always wanted to do this.
I've always wanted to cut loose because I'm Superman.
No, 'cause
All I ever wanted to do was murder people with guns.
Because all anyone who shows any restraint wants to do is just...
Desperately lose that restraint and just go nuts. Anyone behind the wheel of an automobile just thinks about killing people. With
Yep,
it. Like
you're just repressed
every
desires to just mow over civilians. Yep, that's all of us.
Yep, that's every human.
Just a coiled spring.
So Lois breaks into the facility trying to call out a message to everybody, but the Predator blew up like a satellite, so there's no
So
message coming in.
you can't.
Because
Yeah.
the Predator's like, well, this is about containment. Don't forget.
Right.
This is the dumbest sequence I've ever seen.
Why is that?
Okay, so you got these 2 guys on guard duty.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and watch on the communication satellites.
Right. But the satellite is behind them.
Yes.
The dots show up on the satellite behind them.
Yes.
There's no noise. There's no nothing. It just goes, hey, is that supposed to have 3 dots on it?
Yeah, well, you're in the jungle, you're talking to your friend, you look up once in a while,
Yeah,
he's gonna-
he's supposed to be on guard. He's supposed to be looking around. So,
yeah. But I
he
mean,
did
I
his
wouldn't be
job.
looking right at the satellite, but still, yeah, it's just...
Or he's
It's like they assumed that there was going to be a sound effect with like, wee.
No.
Well, someone's targeting
You
that.
just expected there to be a sound effect because that would get his attention. But in this case, this dude is
It was
just...
just random good luck that he had. Well, not good luck.
well,
just
it was
almost good luck.
narrative fortune for us that
Yeah.
he looked up.
Also, the explosion is way too big for
It's
the solar
huge.
cannon.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
That's
that's-
impossible.
It's a bit.
Well,
no,
there
no,
was
he-
also a bunch of fuel tanks.
He
and
triggered
stuff
like
up
a
there.
gas line.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the satellites are gas powered.
No.
Yeah.
It's just the satellites betray the fact that that's where the gas line is. Like we built a lot of stuff over there. We had to drill into the mountaintop. I mean, those satellites, they don't run on pure air. You got to have wires that go through the mountain into the Mayan temple where our battery is. Whatever. Anyway, so
Moving on.
The communication's down. So
So Lois can't get the
Predator
word
goes
out.
to the mouth of the cave where Superman had been, and he finds like the mercs are all tied up and gagged, and he's like, "What the fuck is this?" Now it would be great if he's like, "All right, let me just go ahead and take care of that for you." But that's not predating. So,
Right. That's not.
Yeah, these guys
Predation.
aren't like
He didn't hunt
prey.
them. Yeah, they're unarmed.
Exactly.
Well, I didn't capture them, so I can't kill them.
Yeah, but
That's
the
not
idea
right.
of
Someone's
Predator-
coming back for these. I don't want to ruin their
true.
sport.
Yeah, he's like he found lobster traps. He's like, whoa, these are somebody else's. I love the idea of the Predator finding a bunch of guys bound and gagged, being like, what is this? Like, what?
Oh, this is sick.
Who's pussyfooting around on their hunting expedition here?
Look at this. He's dishonored them by leaving them alive, and
humiliated them.
he's trapped. They can't go anywhere or do anything to assuage their dishonor.
They will never get to Valhalla.
He didn't even mark them. He didn't even pee on them to establish that they were theirs.
These are prey of no one.
Yeah,
I can think of no worse
dishonor.
outcome.
They still have their heads. Oh, I feel so bad for these
They're
people.
alive. They have their lives. No, it'd be like if you went out into the woods and just caught deer and then tied them up and left them.
Well, maybe.
And a hunter comes along.
What the crap is
Yeah.
this?
What, you just left this thing to starve to death?
Right? Like
That's pretty messed up.
There's no way the Predator thinks these guys are gonna start. But I mean,
I like that
But I like the idea
version.
the Predator's like, these
What
poor
a
things.
sick bastard.
Right, he like frees them.
Yeah.
Go on.
Go,
Go.
go into the jungle. Where
Don't
you
worry, I'll
from?
hunt you later.
Yeah. Pick up some guns. I found some out there. I've left them for you, like Easter eggs.
I won't kill you now. If you pick them up, who knows?
Who knows? Also, there's like no way out of this jungle. So
He also says, never underestimate your enemy. I guess
he's
someone
parroting
say that.
somebody who said that.
Yeah.
I think it's Nigel who says that. But now
he
he's saying it to himself about Superman.
About
Like,
Superman.
Oh, I thought Superman was kind of like a loser because
Yeah, but he defeated these three people
yeah,
Yeah.
with no weapons.
with no weapons.
That's kind of impressive.
I see.
Anyway, so Nigel finds Lois trying to communicate with the outside world. It fails. They fight. He's also like, you seem like kind of a scrapper. I think we should fight. Like, we should do some hand-to-hand
Ooh.
combat.
Yeah, he's a
You wanna-
fucking creep.
You want to throw down fisticuffs?
Yeah, he does that. He is the German from Raiders of the Lost Ark. He's like,
Uh.
come here,
Come on.
come on. I love in that sequence in Raiders that Jones pulls every dirty fighting trick in the book. He throws sand in his face, he bites him, he misdirects him, and he kicks him in the nards.
Yep.
Yeah, and he still would have died.
He still would have died, except for the fact that German is so hyper-focused on punching Indiana Jones that he misses those propeller blades, which must have been deafening. And that look on Indy's face, it's pure glee.
He's like,
I have.
oh, you're gonna get it.
That is a smile that women fall in love with, that he is giving to that German who's about to be sliced to ribbons. He's like, and then he goes, oh, like he's hiding from a birthday party. He's like, oh boy. And then that guy just becomes sinew. And we're just like, oh, PG.
Yep. Well, you didn't see it. You
didn't
saw
see
a blood splatter.
Yeah. My mind
We
made
saw
it
a
worse.
lot of blood.
That was amazing. Ugh.
Yeah.
Movies. Anyway, so Lois reveals, I'm an army brat. I kicked ass, so she kicks his ass. And then, the other guy shows up, the old guy, and he's like, hey. So Traver is leading Lois out, like through the temple, like outside the temple, and he sees the Predator for a second,
Oh.
and he just freezes. He's immediately brought back to where he was, and he's like, let's not go that way.
Right.
That way is doom. So Marla has assisted Ward in like fixing some technical problems he was having with his machine. He wasn't getting enough power or something. And then Superman shows up, and so Ward tells the guards to just murder the prisoners, which Superman doesn't know have escaped. So he's just like, oh. So he musters all of his strength to be able to fly a little bit away to go rescue those people.
Right.
Nigel and the crew, Nigel was like, I was beaten by a woman, whatever. It's fine. I like scrapping. So he and his mercs go to the prisoners, the remainder of the Star Labs team, to kill them. Superman jumps in their way, and he uses his, just musters a little bit of strength. Again.
Right.
I have to flex my abs a little bit. And my
Yep. and they pierce his belly and kill him. No, he deflects their bullets, but it kind of
got
hurts.
him right in the belly button.
Yeah, it just goes right through.
Out.
So, he deflects their bullets, but he can't catch all the bullets, and so they're like pouncing all off of him, and so he's endangering the hostages as well. And so he's just like, oh, this is a real problem for me. And I guess it's just like, this is an exercise for Michelini. He's like, let me see if I can do a whole Superman story where Superman's powers either betray him or he doesn't have them, and see like what kind of like drama comes of that. Meanwhile, Predator starts killing mercs outside the temple. Like under the mountain, but still outside the temple.
Okay.
And so Superman's just getting just sprayed with bullets until inevitably he just grabs the cage door, the prison door, over his shoulder, and just throws it at the mercs and takes them down. And you're like, all right, it was heroic.
Yeah.
So Nigel engages the Predator, and he's like, come on, let's go. He's got his Bowie knife and everything, and the Predator just blows up one of the cars and makes his way out of there. It's just like a sequence to remind you the Predators in this effing story.
Right. And pick off a few.
Pick off a few more mercs.
Yeah.
But they also are firing the laser. The big laser.
Yeah, they got to do the laser thing.
But they're doing a test first, because Ward explains in his in one of his expository monologues that we're going to test it, and then within 30 minutes of testing it, we'll be ready to fire the real one.
Right.
And so they
before
fire
we put the
shit in it.
The radiation in the beam, we have to make sure the beam will do what
it needs to do.
Yeah.
So everyone's outside, Casey and Lois and Superman, and they're outside, and they see the laser fire out of the mountain. They're like, oh, we're too late. And he's like, no. We still have half an hour. We're okay. And so Superman's like, well, I'm going to go back, and I'm going to stop them. And Casey's like, dude, no. Just don't worry about it. There's a Predator in there. He's scary as shit. Don't go in there.
Yeah. He also said he was going to try to call the military to just blow everything up. So he's like, well, if you go back,
you might blow up too.
You'll get blown up.
Exactly.
Just
Superman's
stick with
the
plan.
It's worth it because I need to save the day. I'm Superman. That's what I do. And so
also you don't know that that's going to work.
Also, I'm getting slightly better.
No, he's getting worse. He's actually getting weaker.
He's still getting weaker?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, there was a moment when he's in prison that he rested a little bit.
Doing shit. He couldn't pick a woman off of a cliff,
Yeah.
but he can break the bars of the cage.
How heroic he is. Isn't that amazing?
And also deflect bullets.
Isn't that amazing? The willpower that he was able to strike?
No, it seems
he might as well be a Green
consistent and
Lantern.
boring.
No,
You have to reach inside, use whatever's left. Willpower, desperation, anything.
For Lois!
Yeah, I did it one more time. I bet he's going to do it at least one more time.
Yeah, he does.
He's going to try something really hard and poop himself.
Well, good thing he's wearing those extra shorts. So the Predator goes back to his ship. And he's like,
He's
all
already
right.
outside. That doesn't help him.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Anyway, so the Predator goes back to his ship, and he's like, all right, let's do an Easter egg hunt where we show you a couple of weapons from a couple other franchises, and then I'm going to get my spear, and I'm going to kick ass. And it's like, don't threaten me with a good time. Don't remind me that the Predator is going to fight Superman at some point in this book, right? Because we're already, through to issue 3. Come on.
Yeah.
But we also see there's a Batleth in there.
There's a Batleth? Oh, yeah. That's awesome.
Right?
Nice.
But it's the wrong kind of Batleth.
Yeah, it's a little bit effed up, but
it's intellectually distinct. It's 25% distinct from a regular Batleth.
Well, see, a regular Batleth has 2 handles.
That's
this
true.
only has
This only
one.
has one
That's a
handle.
child's Batleth. But I love that Predator grabs what looks like a lightsaber, and then a spear comes out.
Yeah, it's a spear, yeah.
So he goes back to the cave. The mercs are freaking out. They're seeing shimmers. Casey explains to Superman his tragic backstory because he rejoined Superman. He's like, all right, you guilt tricked me into
do
it.
the big hero thing. Okay,
fine, I'll help you. So he talks about how he got hurt. He was part of an elite squad of of American soldiers, and during a training exercise, he hurt his leg. And so while his elite squad was slaughtered by predators, he was resting comfortably in the barracks. And so he feels this deep shame. And no, there isn't a sequence where he's like, I beg for death because I want to join my squad mates. He's more just like, I was part of a team of badasses, and then I watched that team get picked apart by what is essentially a pro wrestler in a crazy mask. And it scared the living shit out of me, and I've been living in shame and fear ever since. And so every time, I see this predator, and I am afraid for my life. Just like I was when I was a greenhorn in the barracks. And I'm like, cool, all right, fine.
All right, got it.
Get the motivation too.
Sure.
And so, yeah, and that's the backstory. He doesn't tell it until later, but essentially he alludes to it while Superman and he make their way back into the temple and so forth.
Sure.
There's also a sequence where Marla and Ward talk more about his.
Well, yeah, because this is the beginning of issue 3, so we have to explain.
We got to re-explain
what's happening.
This is the guy who invented Venom. He knows that like we were innocent once until that accursed Spider-Man ruined our lives.
Right.
He's got to give you a little bit of context. But I will say it's the year 2000. He's gotten better at it to make it weave it a little more naturally. And I'm sure Malieve appreciates just another couple of scenes of regular people talking to each other against a stone white background. So thank you so much for that.
Yep. All right.
Yep. Way to remind us that Lois is in the book and gives us something to do.
Because again, third issue, beginning of the third issue,
Right,
we got to
Lois is
establish
here.
where everyone is and what
Exactly.
they're doing.
So the Predator's like, all right, well, I don't know why I've been fucking around outside the mouth of the cave. He shows up.
I'm gonna start killing people.
And he does.
Yep.
One dude is like, that's enough, and he just runs into the cave, and he is immediately killed by the Predator.
Nice.
That's just great. Just Predator murdering dudes. And you're like, yep, And we establish like what weapons Predator's using, his wrist gauntlets, his spear, his frisbee.
Yep. He's using all of it.
Yep.
All mix it up, otherwise the reader will get bored.
Yeah, exactly. Well, plus we want to know like what accoutrements does the Predator have in this one?
Right.
Really, this is more Superman and Predator.
Yes. Yes.
Superman with Predator.
Yes, because they did kind of fight.
They kind of fought, but
They
they're
fought
really
for a
teaming up to
second.
take down the greater evil.
Yeah, but
the Predator
Superman
doesn't
versus
know
Spider-Man,
he's
they
doing
also
that, though.
fought, but team up to fight a greater evil. This is a true crossover in every respect.
That's true.
It's a versus,
yeah.
but like really, it's a team-up story.
Spider-Man and Superman fought harder than the Superman and the Predator.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
That is true.
It's,
But the Predator doesn't know he's helping Superman. The Predator's not trying to eliminate these guys because they're horrible Nazi people.
no.
That's just a coincidental thing that happened.
He's just like, I was here to blow up an old Predator ship.
Yeah.
And I'm still gonna do that, but like,
But I'm also here.
there's some
No, I mean,
badasses here.
this is for me.
I'll have some
Right,
fun.
like, if I left my keys behind in the Magic Kingdom, I'm gonna go to the front desk and pick them up. But I'm already here.
I'm gonna get
right.
me a Dole Whip.
Now I'm getting a Dole Whip, I'm having a churro. It's the equivalent of the Predator having a churro at Disney World.
I'm here. Shink, shink, kill.
Exactly. I'm gonna cut their heads off. I'm gonna string them upside down. I mean, I might as I know how to hang a bipedal human being upside down by their ankles, like I know how to tie a sheep shank knot. I'm good to go. So we get his flashback. And, all right, thanks a lot, Casey. Good for you. Very sad.
Yeah, very sad. It's quite sad.
Right? So Superman's like, all right, well, you've done all that you can. Don't worry about it. You don't have to help me. Like, just don't die. And so Superman goes deeper into the cave, and Casey's like, he sees the Predator, and he's like, ooh! I love the Predator just being like, just rounding a corner, being like, oh, hey, it's you. He doesn't say that.
What's going on?
Yeah, he's like, oh, I'm sorry, you caught me. I am a black.
I'm a figment of your imagination.
Oh, shimmer.
Just goes back into the column.
Casey's just like, no, I'll never be able to sleep again.
Meanwhile, Superman is thinking to himself, I gotta be stealthy.
Like Batman.
Like Batman.
That's our Batman
Like,
reference.
dude, you're wearing a red cape.
A blue
You
leotard.
gotta take the cape off at least.
He will
It
never,
won't help that much.
He never
but,
takes
like,
the cape off. He's like, you are not stealthy.
You cannot be stealthy in this condition.
No.
Look
No.
at that. I love this. He's
Yeah.
trying to be stealthy. He's got this big
Blazing red ass in the darkness.
standing out of the darkness. Like, yeah,
Right.
that shows
God,
the
I wish
folly
I
of
could use
his
like
plan.
Dayglow paint on it.
Yeah. So Nigel finds Casey. He actually ends up shooting the gun that Casey had to arm himself against the Predator out of his hands.
Oh.
So now we got one armed guy, one unarmed guy.
Yeah.
Superman has to fight a bunch of mercs. He just musters a little bit of strength.
Yeah. It's
Check the counter in the comments. How many times I said that? And Superman just pushes like a beam. It's like, I'll take what fate put in front of me and use it.
to crush these men to death.
It's a
with this
massive
column.
stone column.
They're
This thing would
definitely
weigh like
dead.
3 times the weight of the truck.
I'm Superman. Ah! So he kicks it and hits them, and I guess crushes them to death.
Yeah. They should be dead.
Predator fires at Skane, the Australian guy, fires a shoulder cannon at him, just barely misses him, and comes face to face with Casey. He's just like, why didn't you? What's going on? Oh, and he puts together the rules. Oh, I was unarmed. He was. That's the guy you want. He just points at the other guy. He's like, that one.
Not 30 seconds ago, you had a gun and you fired a full clip at me. I'm killing you.
Yeah, right.
But you're not holding one right now.
I can't really tell what's going on.
I honestly, I can't. tell
Okay, so
I don't know if it was you. I can't tell the difference between you people.
no, but here's the thing.
You all look the same.
Oh, I'm sorry. You didn't have a gun a second. You had a gun a second ago, but now you don't. Oh yeah, that gets you a free pass.
Yeah.
That's like if Arnold dropped his gun and was like,
Yeah.
"Come on."
Yeah.
And the Predator's like,
That
"Oh,
literally
no, you're not.
happens
We're-"
in the movie.
Yeah, but then he says, "Come on."
Oh yeah, but no, then
Yeah, then he kills him with his hands.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
not going to shoot with my wrist cannon. I'm going to choke you to death. old
Anna
man.
tries to shoot the Predator, and Arnold kicks the gun out of her hands, and so Predator doesn't shoot her. Like, you could hold the gun and then drop the gun, although
Yeah.
that
You
poor
can't
son
do
of a
any
bitch-
violent actions though. You can't
Be
beckon
aggressive.
like you're gonna fight. You have to be
He kicks
submissive.
out of her hands and then he sends her off into the woods while he deals with the
He also
Predator.
shoots at the Predator
It's not like the
back.
Predator's like, "Oh hi, yeah, you shot at me earlier,
Yeah,
but
he
you don't have
doesn't
the gun now."
have, like, a moment.
Anyway, how's your day?
I mean, they literally that close. Like, and again, it's just like, well, you know, we already made Maleev draw like at least 16 pages of characters just standing next to each other and talking against like a very monochromatic background. I'll do that with the Predator as well. But I love the Predator
Yeah.
being like, "It's that guy." And Predator's like, "Got it."
Okay. Maybe it's like, well, there's two people. I will go for the one who's more dangerous. If
you're
it was
older and
just
slower,
you,
I'll catch you.
I would kill you.
Yeah.
But I don't have the time.
There's
I
no
gotta
time.
get the more dangerous one. He's
Yeah,
over there.
Exactly.
I'll come back for you.
I'm coming back for you, baby.
Unless you're wounded.
Yeah.
in
And
which
then I'll
case,
leave you alone.
I'll leave you alone like I did
I'll leave you
before.
here to die.
Yeah.
So Superman like picks up a couple of mercs and then drops them from like 8 feet in the air, and he's like, if you don't run away now, I'll pick you up 1,000 feet in the air and drop you. And they're like, "Ah!" So they run away, and he's like, "Yeah, I used my
Yeah.
scary Batman voice for that one, haha."
Yeah, because that's what Superman does. He
Classic
drops
Superman.
people. He
Yep.
just grabs them and drops them.
Yeah, they also
Yep.
Man of Steel. They
Now
know.
imagine that 1,000 times worse.
Yeah, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I guess I
That's
could."
pretty messed up.
Wow, what? Like I might not die.
Yeah.
I might like just shatter my legs. And
I
then be
also saw
trapped
you
here.
crush our teammates with a giant stone column. He'd
did.
do it.
Yeah, he would.
No,
yeah,
you-
Superman's desperate when he's
You
when
dropped
he's
me.
weak.
You dropped me 8 feet. They say a 10-foot fall is enough to kill someone.
Yeah.
Well, that's
You
why-
almost killed me.
That's because you could land on your head.
Well, that's true.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, this guy he dropped on his head.
Yeah, well,
From 8 feet.
It was really on. I just said 8 feet. I don't know how far.
Oh, I see.
So then the Australian guy finds the Predator. Predator's like, "Here we are."
Oh, we're gonna fight again.
What was
Oh,
it?
this is the point.
Yeah.
He drops his
Kane's
gun.
like, "There he is. Here I am." And so he's like, "Dude, take off the rocket, man. I got my
The
knife.
rocket. Take the rocket.
Take it off.
This thing.
and then we'll
Predator's
fight."
like,
And Predator's like, "All right,
Okay.
okay." So he takes it off. He's
You're
like,
still screwed.
and I'm like, and then we get into Nigel's head, and I'm like, "Don't give him a thought balloon." Where he's like, "Oh man, this might have been a mistake." And I'm like, "Why? He's a bad guy. I don't care about him.
Yeah.
I don't want to get into his mind." So they fight, and Predator throws a disc at him. Nigel's a good fighter, so he just barely avoids getting killed by it. Meanwhile, Superman like yells at all the scientists who work for Ward at the lair. It goes like, "How do we turn it off?" And they're like, "We can't." And so whatever. So then Nigel fights the Predator.
This is a
and,
giant
like,
machine. If you unplug one thing, the whole thing will stop working.
Right, really it should, but we've already, whatever. So we can't. It's got to be a big thrilling ending. So, Nigel like fights the Predator, and like I'm like, I don't want to see the Predator in this condition. I don't want to see dudes like jumping. I don't want to see like, what essentially is Duke from G.I. Joe, like kicking the shit out of Predator. Although that is a good, I'm down for Duke versus Predator.
Yeah, this guy ain't Duke.
This guy's an asshole. This guy sucks.
No, this guy's the ultimate Australian badass.
Yeah, right.
Look at this. He's doing Jean-Claude Van Damme type moves here. Look
He
at this
totally
kick.
is. Yeah, it's a good kick. So he kicks the Predator down, and he's like, "All right," and the Predator just like points his gauntlet at him, and he's like, "Dude, what are you gonna do? That thing's attached to your wrists."
Nigel pulls a gun from his leg.
That's right. He's like, "Oh, you son of a bitch! You liar! You phony!"
So that's why the Predator's like, okay, projectiles are back on.
Oh. Oh.
That's right. He fires the blades out of his wrist.
That's
and they
cool.
go into his chest, and he pulls them out. And I love that. I'm like, I've never seen that.
I've never seen that either.
And I wouldn't have thought that does that.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it doesn't in the movies and stuff.
Oh,
but
no.
it
I'll
works.
take it. It's
I'm
cool.
okay.
And he's like, I always found honor just gets in the way. Oh, okay.
Oh, you think so,
Oh,
huh?
all right.
I'll tell you what where dishonor gets you, you piece of shit.
What?
Boom.
Now
Yeah.
you're dead.
Now you're dead, bitch. But he pulls them out. He's like, yeah. So Superman makes his way out of the cave. He finds the Predator. The Predator jumps on Superman. All the mercs are like, oh shit! Somebody's dogpiling on Superman. Let's get out of here. So they leave. And Marla's like, what? What's going on? Superman versus
Finally.
Predator. Finally, they fight a little bit. Predator throws his disc. He misses for the second time against as many opponents as he had. But at one point, but Superman's studied him. He's seen how this works. It comes back. So he's like, okay, he threw it at me. It comes down, and then it comes back around, and he catches it with his hands.
Superman never saw that happen.
No, but he says he did. So he catches the
I
blade.
saw it off panel.
Yeah, whatever. So he saw.
I've heard about these things.
Exactly. So he catches the blade. He throws it into the wall, like the stone wall near him. He's like, "There, now get it back, piece of shit."
Why doesn't he throw it at him?
Right.
Because
he doesn't wanna
Superman's
kill
not
that
going to
guy.
kill him.
Dude,
You don't want to kill the Predator?
there's a Superman. I mean, look, when we did Green Lantern Aliens, they wouldn't kill. Like the whole book is about how they're like, we can't kill these creatures. And I'm like, what are the only things that you should be able to kill in
Yeah.
the
I thought
in
that
the
was
galaxy?
because the ring was like, no lethal force.
No, it's not. Well,
No,
It's
the
not
ring's
that.
like, you could do it. You could kill these
I have
fuckers.
removed protocols against.
No.
Oh, the Xenomorphs? No, absolutely not. Absolutely
Yeah,
dead.
I won't do it.
The ring is just telling you kill these fucking things. No, stop.
Oh, kill them. Kill them. It's the
He just-
only
he just
sane
lists-
choice.
Just list names of people who have been killed by xenomorphs. Just keeps. I'll just run a tally over
The
your
only
face.
moral choice is to kill them.
No, we'll put them on Mogo.
Mogo's a guy.
You
can't you can't just put your trash on him.
Mogo, go to the sun and just shake them off of you. Like a dog.
Mogo, you're a living planet, right?
Yeah.
What happens if one of those things lays an egg and
Yeah.
infects you?
No.
What if you get face hugged?
He's a planet. The xenomorphs are going to burrow into his flesh
Yeah.
and make a planet-sized xenomorph.
Yeah.
But I mean,
I would like to see that. What happens when a whole
technically happen.
technically I
planet
suppose.
gets xenomorphed?
No, you gotta face hug him. You can't. They can't make an egg big
There's
enough
no
to
face
hug
hugger big
Mogo.
enough. Face hug Mogo.
Who says the facehugger has to be the right size?
What?
Maybe, what if you had
Yeah, I
like
guess.
a
Gestates?
1,000 face huggers
Yeah,
all injected him with the stuff?
That seems excessive. I don't know. I guess. All right. Anyway.
So how does this book end?
So they set up the space laser,
Yeah.
Marlin, Ward, and whatnot. Superman
Yeah.
fights the Predator. It's a cool fight. It's not going well for Superman. But, like Superman like displays some powers and like he's flying around. You could tell like the Predator's kind of like, wait, what? Like,
Wait.
what's wrong with you?
Yeah,
Like
why-
the Predator could easily kill him, and in fact he like tries. Like Superman uses his heat vision to blow up the Predator's shoulder cannon, and then
Oh.
Predator like takes that opportunity to slice Superman's face with his gauntlets, which should have killed him. But Superman's got like titanium skin instead of fucking whatever stronger than diamond skin or whatever.
Yeah, so Superman's like, this guy's gonna kill
this
me.
guy's gonna kill me.
This
random
frickin'
crossover
thing is gonna be how I die.
No.
That sucks.
No. So, like, while Superman is, like, fighting the Predator, he got hit in the face with the gauntlets and shit, Superman's just like, fuck this, and just starts wailing on the temple wall with his super strength, or the messages of it, and the Predator's like, what are you doing? Yeah, Ward leaves to go look for Nigel. He's like, oh, I need my Merc. So he runs away, leaving Marla alone with like the Doomsday weapon.
Right.
And Casey finds Marla, and he's like, hey, what's going on? And she's like, hey, you seem like you've got more going on than you let on. Maybe you might be a badass. And he's like, there is something I've wanted to do with you for a while. And she's like, are you gonna kiss me? And he just wails her in the face.
Well, it does involve your face.
Yep, whammo. And so he punches her in the face, and then he carries her out of there because we can't let her die. So he carries her out of the temple, leaving Superman to fight the Predator by himself. So Superman starts wailing on the wall. Can you imagine this fight? Superman's fighting the Predator. He's like floating around. He's got hit in the face with gauntlets and shit. And then he just goes, the Predator's like, I'm sorry, did we just take a break? What are you doing? It looks like you are freaking out.
Okay, I'm ready to go now.
That is fucking insane! I am out of here.
I'm not fighting this guy.
Yeah. So what Superman does is he manages to bring down the house around the Predator, pinning him under rocks.
So he determined that if he punched the wall in this spot
In this
enough
particular shot,
times, the roof behind him would
Cave in the
collapse.
Predator.
Even though he's losing his powers, I guess he keeps his super intelligent brain.
Oh, sure. Well, you don't like forget things. So the Predator isn't dead.
No,
way
he's just
later.
buried under rocks.
So then Superman takes the Predator and he puts him in one of those cells. In the lair.
So
What?
You ripped the bars off. It's gonna get out.
No, he is regular, like, superhuman. I'm Superman.
Right. He certainly doesn't have any technology that could possibly cut through
Well,
metal
I
or
destroyed
break
his-
stone.
I blow up his laser
Cannon, and
yeah.
hopefully his knives can't cut through those bars.
So then,
I don't really know.
Yeah, so then Superman bumps into Casey, who's like, we can't turn the laser off. There's nothing we can do. And in fact, the only thing that could probably stop the laser is in this cell right here. And Superman's like, you have no idea how hard it was to beat this guy. I'm just gonna free him.
I just spent all my strength
Again.
putting him in that
For the
cell.
19th time.
I'm not taking him out.
I'm not taking him out. And Casey's like, all right, well, I mean, like, you're gonna have to do it.
Why does this guy think that the Predator is the one who can shut the machine down? Superman just beat the Predator.
Yeah.
Superman is stronger than the Predator.
Right. That's
Why
true.
wouldn't Superman can do anything the Predator can do?
That's true.
We can't shut the machine down, but you're Superman. Couldn't you just like punch it a little bit?
Yeah.
Just break some
Like you
things?
punched
Right?
through that wall?
No, it's already, once it's been fired, it can't be shut down or whatever. Like,
Except by the Predator somehow.
Yeah, that's right. So Superman frees the Predator, and the Predator just like leaves. He's like, okay. So then he runs out. Meanwhile, Ward hits Superman with his car.
Oh, he says the Predator gutted him like a carp.
Yeah,
Now we know what happened to Skane.
good. So then Predator throws his frisbee at Ward and cuts his head off, while Ward is like wallowing in his own crapulence.
Oh, and Superman watches it.
Yeah, he's like, whoa, that was hardcore. Meanwhile, the Predator then goes into like the bowels of the the machine that's firing the laser, and he's like, oh, I can't let there's nothing you could do. Don't sacrifice yourself. It's not worth it. And the Predator's like, yeah, I'm gonna blow up. I like.
Oh, you people are messed
Well, he's
up.
like, I like hunting here. I don't want everybody to die.
The logic they ascribe to the Predator is that he has to blow this thing up to erase all evidence of the Predators.
Yes.
I guess they used Predator
They
technology
did.
in the laser.
They took it from the ship.
Okay. Was that the last thing they needed to
Yes.
complete the laser? Okay.
Yes, that's right.
All right. So there's some logic behind it.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
The Predator's defeated. He could die at any moment.
Right. But he's like,
He's got to take the technology down
I didn't
with
come
him.
here to hunt. I came here to erase all evidence
Right.
of my
So I will
race's
do that
existence. So I have
now.
to do that. So goodbye. So then Superman and Casey try to leave, but before they leave, the Predator takes out this mysterious vial and he throws it to Superman. It's like, oh, by the way, I think we used to poison our enemies when they tried to break into our ships.
Right.
So you may have like a kind of like space virus. Take this
You may
and
want-
call me in the morning.
Yeah.
So Superman like grabs
Ooh,
it.
space cologne. Dab, dab.
Just drink it.
What?
What are you doing? Boy, oof, you are
fucking guy.
pretty and stupid. So, the Predator, I love that moment where the Predator's like, here we go! And so he and his ship explode.
Yeah.
So I guess they are.
So we do establish that there's a
synchronized.
link. Yeah.
They're running out here.
Yeah.
This is deep within the cavern.
Yeah.
The Predator's standing like that. They finally get outside.
Yes, he's just like,
And then it blows up. So he's got to be standing there for like a good 2.5 minutes.
Yeah, just
I thought I timed this better. Anyway,
maybe
this thing.
yeah, maybe I can actually take it off. Ah,
I died like an idiot.
damn it.
You know what? Do I really need to die?
Right? I could just.
I mean, they put me in a jail cell, but like, I don't know. I could just go keep killing people.
Yeah.
Still hunt. They're not
Batman-
gonna tell anybody.
Batman
Yeah.
did that in Batman vs. Predator, where he put me in a cell.
Yeah.
And I freed myself and
I-
kicked his ass.
That one didn't kill. I guess I don't have to kill myself.
They
Oh
just
shit!
didn't
Wait,
give
how do I?
us-
How do I dip?
And so the ship explodes, which leaves a huge crater, not unlike the old crater.
Yeah.
And Superman's like, the only thing left of his existence is this vial. And Casey's like, dude, don't just drink that. You don't know where it's been. And Superman's like,
That could be
No,
its
I'm
pee.
gonna-
he's like, I could give it to Star Labs and they could like figure it out, but like, I don't have time. I'm gonna have to take it on faith because I feel myself dying.
I'm dying.
I'm totally dying.
I died.
I'm gonna die now. So
You're
he
just
drinks
sick. That's just what it feels like to be sick. You freaking idiot.
I never want to be like this again. So he drinks it all.
I can't for another second.
Yep.
I can't live another second like this.
No, I would rather
I'm
die.
dying. You just have a fever.
Yeah, I'd rather
Have
die.
some soup and lay down.
Oh, it's
for
so
a little
bad.
bit.
No.
It's like 100. It's not even like a really bad fever. It's like a mild fever. No, it's
I feel like
too
I might
much.
be dying.
I'm
I'm
not
so
gonna-
weak.
I'm
Oh my
not
God.
gonna make it. God,
May you never lose your powers.
I hate you so much.
He's such an asshole. So Superman drinks it all, and then he goes to visit Lois, and like they talk about like how
That was pretty messed up.
that was a pretty messed up adventure.
Anyway, I just drank that alien liquid.
Yeah. What do you think?
Yeah.
Huh? What do you think about that? Just like what? What
And
are you
now I
suggesting
got
it's
my
like
powers
Viagra?
back.
Okay. All right. Yeah. That's fair. So, hooray.
And then they wonder what happens. What happens if you run into another Predator?
Well, you don't want to worry about that.
What happens if there's a Superman versus Predator 2?
Well, they're never going to do that. It's over. But
Wait a minute.
there will be a JLA versus Predator where Superman's kind of like, what are these? Did I do a sequel?
Wait, was
there
that
one?
part of this continuity?
And then a Batman and Superman versus Aliens and Predator,
Right.
which is also a prequel to this. So he should actually know what they are, but he doesn't. So don't worry about it. Because it's not really a prequel to this. It's more like a prequel to their own adventures. So like it sucks.
What if the vial is not a cure-all? What do the Predators do when one of them is defeated? They throw someone a weapon.
Oh, maybe it's a weapon.
Oh.
Maybe it's just like, all right, well, this is all I got on me. It's like a virus, but it counteracts the other virus.
Yeah.
Or Superman's physiology is like, oh, I just beat it.
Right.
I just got healthier.
Yeah. Superman just was in the sun a little bit longer, and he was okay, which he should have been. But yeah.
Like, oh, his thing flashed me,
Yeah.
and I was sick,
Right.
Yeah.
but I healed.
Yes. Yeah, that'd be fine too.
Maybe that vial that was just like a shot.
Yeah.
That was just like some fine alien whiskey.
Oh yeah.
It's like,
Yeah, like
here.
he gave himself an alien hot toddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like sweated it out.
I was saving this for a special occasion, but I'm not gonna need it anymore.
Yeah. So you
Here
go
you
ahead.
go.
Bottoms up.
Wow, it must be a cure.
Drink. He's like, wow, what an idiot. He thinks that Romulan ale is some kind of cure-all. I guess it is, for a bad time. You know what I mean? If only we had more time, we'd get high. Superman's like,
Nah, but I gotta blow up
but I gotta blow up. Lest you tell anyone in the mainland that I exist
or something.
or whatever, which you of course will. So I guess I'm completely borked. There's no reason we have done any of these things. But
Well,
yeah,
I've got
so,
everything in my whole existence now.
It's so stupid. So that's Superman versus Predator. Okay.
I'd love it
Yeah.
if Superman and Batman finally told each other
Yes.
about their Predator stories.
What? Why didn't we tell each other sooner?
Why that? But Batman's like, I'm sorry. I kicked this thing's ass, and it kicked my ass over and over again.
Yeah.
And you sort of palled around?
Right. I'm
Well,
sorry. It
I
sounds
mean,
like you guys had a team up.
I'm more
Ultimately, yes.
dangerous than you are.
Right. That Predator didn't give me an inch. Neither Predator. None of those Predators.
Exactly. I'm more of a worthy prey.
Well,
Superman's like,
maybe
sure.
it sensed that you couldn't be reasoned with.
Yeah.
Maybe it was looking for like a higher level
Of intelligence. Yeah.
Morality,
Right.
ethics.
Maybe it took pity on you because you had a cold.
Yeah.
I mean,
whatever.
there's some weird choices.
Weird choices, but
There
overall,
usually are.
Yes, they have to be. But I'm like, I think it's pretty solid.
Yeah, this does not
very
seem bad
with
at
it.
all.
It's not. It's not bad. The Malieve art, there are egregious moments, but for overall, I think it's top notch, top tier. It actually puts it up into a contemporary category. This is a 24-year-old, 25-year-old book.
This is absolutely confusing.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, I guess.
This is my problem with it. You start off with a good Predator story premise.
Yes.
They find the ship. It's an excursion team.
Yes.
You can start picking them off one by one. Instead, they go into the Mayan temples.
Yep. Where there's a Nazi in there or something.
There's a terrible scientist who's gonna kill everyone who has some sort of medical defect on them.
Yeah. Well, that's
One
what
of
the
the
book was
team
supposed to be
scientists
about.
who is all about this joins them.
Yes.
That is egregious.
So weird.
That
Such a
part,
weird
I'm like,
decision.
no.
Right.
The whole character of Marla,
Baffling.
that's the worst part of this for me.
Superman has to musters the strength like 37 times.
Well, yeah, that's lazy.
Which is
yes.
also annoying.
Yeah.
Team up with the Predator,
Yep.
who sacrifices itself to destroy the technology that
Yes.
That
it
he
doesn't
was
care
there
about.
to
But
destroy.
that follows from the
His whole premise,
earlier
the Predator
idea
doesn't
that the
change.
Predator is only there to destroy the technology that it finds out was left
Yeah,
behind.
but it was there to destroy the ship.
No, well,
Yes.
the ship represents any technology. And remember, when they were on the ship, it set like a distress signal or like a kind of like proximity signal to the Predators. Hey, someone found this.
Yeah.
Like the Predators probably didn't even know that ship was there until it triggered the alarm. So like for me, it's just like the Predator pretty much follows a path of logic the entire time. I'm here to blow up shit that could prove that we exist.
Right.
And now
they
they
took some
and they
of
took
it
some
out
shit
of
out of
the
there, and
ship
now I
and
gotta
they
go there, and I
brought it
gotta
into
kill
the
these
temple.
guys, and I'm gonna kill
It
them.
should be a little easier for it. I don't know why there's so much like back and forth.
Because we need 3 issues, and it's like
Yeah.
Miflani clearly had like issue.
That's
he had, like,
the problem.
He had, like,
This should be
42 pages worth of
2
story.
issues max.
Yeah, and DC was like, "There's no fucking way. We're putting out 2 issues.
Right. That's
putting out
the problem.
3
That's
or
not-
1. You get 1 or 3.
And you could get 3 issues out of this like successfully. I don't think this is it.
No.
I think this is
No.
like stretched without adding value.
Yeah, no,
Unfortunately.
it's all just repetition. Unfortunately, anything added is just extra or
Yeah.
Because at the end,
reiterated.
it's mostly just the Predator killing That guy.
Oh yeah, Skane.
Well,
Skane
yeah, that's-
and like the other mercs, like the
yeah.
guy's henchmen.
Yeah, I thought this was gonna be short,
Yeah,
and it wasn't
and it
for
wasn't.
some reason.
We tore this thing in assholes. We really
we went
did.
over it in minute detail.
Well, and it's out of print, and you'll never be able to get a copy. But if you want, it's in the collections all over the place. You can get the individual prestige-bound versions. You can get multiple trades, like we have.
You
get
could be
another
like the
trade.
Yautja and hunt for
You
it.
can just stalk your prey, being out-of-print copies of DC crossovers with Predator. But I was going to ask, because it's so rare we're going to talk about Predator. I mean, related to comic books specifically, but Predator is everywhere. Like, Predator is going to get not only a sequel to Prey, but also an animated anthology series, and secretly another Predator sequel movie as well. Like, Predator is going to be everywhere, and he's fighting Spider-Man. So there'll be other opportunities for us to talk about Predator on the show. But I wanted to have like a thought exercise where I was like, okay, so who hasn't crossed over with Predator that Marvel could use? Should it be a Marvel character or some other property that you'd like to see? And like, how would you make that work? Myself, I'm like, look, Spider-Man's gonna be fun.
Look, you're already doing Spider-Man.
But I'm like, Daredevil would be fun
Daredevil would be really
because you get to
fun.
play with the senses.
Daredevil, that's a fair fight.
Yes, right.
Oh, I like that.
I think that'd be really cool because you get all the urban jungle stuff, but you also
Yeah.
get like the fact that the Predator sees a different vision. So does Daredevil.
Daredevil,
You know, the
yeah.
Predator might be like completely invisible, and Daredevil's like, not to me, bitch.
The Predator
Like,
might figure out that like, oh, he needs sound.
Yes, and then
so-
like uses like he's hitting like metal or
yeah.
uses his disc like around the Daredevil.
Oh, I like that.
It also would allow him to like maybe the Predator kills like Fisk's people, like
Yeah.
some kind of Kingpin related thing, or
Yeah.
Bullseye versus Predator involved in that as well would be really cool because like
That'd be
Bullseye
cool.
would be like, I can't miss, and Predator being just an excellent marksman.
Yeah.
I think that'd be really fun to see. I don't have like a story necessarily, but if it's gonna be Predator versus Daredevil, use it all. Get Typhoid Mary in there. Get fucking Bullseye in there. Get Kingpin. Have someone from the law firm. Nelson. I don't care. I mean, like Karen's dead, but it could be outside continuity. I don't.
Yeah, maybe.
It could be a younger Daredevil.
If you go outside continuity, it's Predator kills the Marvel Universe.
Well, or Predator hunts the Marvel Universe.
Works for me.
Right? I want to see that. That's an event. That's like the Yautja invade the Marvel Universe.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I want to see that. That doesn't have to be outside canon. That could just be an event where it's like the Yautjas just go like, fair game. They have superheroes. Let's just go.
Yeah.
Of course, we've established like in a world with Superman and the Justice League, they're still like, ooh, don't let them see us.
They should do a Predator versus Marvel like series and event.
Yeah.
Where it's a series of individual books of Marvel characters like tussling with Predators,
Yep.
and the Predators are like, oh, I think
we're ready for like a full scale invasion.
And then it's an invasion.
Yes. That would actually be like a dope premise because it would kind of follow the crossover formula a little bit, like the DC versus Marvel when they were like, we're doing a DC versus Marvel event, and under that umbrella, we're also going to do a couple of where it's just like, here you go, Green Lantern, Silver Surfer, etc., Superman, Fantastic Four, that kind of thing. And it's like, that's fun, but also there's this bigger story going on that's a result of that. But I love the idea of like, they test the waters. You get all your Predator crossovers, and then you get this insane invasion where it's like the Predators are here. And that's actually kind of like almost a comic book that they did in Dark Horse where like the Predators come. And it's like, yeah, that's okay with me. I'd be very okay with that. It'd be weird. I want to see like what like you have to do like it'd be like a Civil War meets Annihilation thing where it's like there's a Terrarian fight and then you got like we got to send people into space. We got to find out who these freaking things are.
Yeah.
We got to go to their home world. We got to stop them.
Yeah.
It could be fun. I just want one image. I want an image of a Predator ship where instead of like the skulls on the walls, you have like helmets and skulls
Yes,
inside
Nova
of them.
Corps helmets.
Nova Corps. You got Magneto's helmet. You got the Rhino with the freaking horn on there.
Yeah, that'd be really sweet. I mean, they've done so many covers of that with Kraven, where it's just all of Spider-Man's villains and it's just Kraven in front of it and stuff like that. Like you could just do that with a Predator.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the Spider-Man versus Predator. The covers alone should depict things that never happen, like Predator in front of a thing and just all of his rogues, because they're all animals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'd mount them anyway.
Yeah, exactly. That'd be so fun. But yes, I love the idea of like the Predator. Well, especially the Predator hunting the Marvel Universe. Like by the time the Predator gets to Earth, the Predators have hunted like the Kree, the Skrulls, like the Badoon. They've hunted everybody. The only thing they can't kill is Galactus.
And Lord knows they've tried.
Yeah, like, and then what you do is you ending the whole thing.
Whoa! Don't give that away.
They're not gonna take my idea, but you banish them to the negative zone, and they find that like the hunting's even greater. Like Nihilus is like, haha, and the Predator's like, oh, this is awesome.
Oh, it's a bug hunt.
Yeah, like you just end it that way, and that'd be fun. It's like we can't kill
Send
them.
the whole race of predators to the negative zone?
Yeah.
Wow.
Just chomp.
That's like genocide.
No, because they're
can't
still alive, and they all they want to do.
But
It's living death.
It's all they want to do is hunt.
It's ethnic cleansing.
No.
You're displacing their entire
That's the
population.
exact same thing that the Predators did to that one guy by banishing him on Earth, where we're just like, oh, well, you could kill over there. It's fine. We don't care.
Yeah, no. It's like kill. All you're gonna kill in the negative zone are bugs, or maybe a Nihilus.
Yeah, well, you live here. I'm just saying, what if we take you from here and we put you
Over there.
over here?
Yeah.
Your whole race.
Yeah.
We just take them all.
Well,
and we put them over here in this reservation.
What you
I
need-
call it the negative zone.
How
You go
dare
ahead and get to kill as
What
much
you
as
need
you
to
want.
do is you need to establish firmly that they're fine with it. Like that they
That they want to go.
Well, all they want is to hunt, and it's like, well, then let
Right.
them.
Yeah,
But,
they don't wanna
they're a
go
problem.
home.
You cannot have Yautja dropping on Earth every couple of weeks.
Right. No, you need like a treaty with them
There's no effing way they're gonna.
where
even know
you
what
go
they-
to their home planet and you're like, look,
You sign a treaty with
we
the
will
Predators.
destroy your whole planet.
Right.
Or you negotiate with us and you don't come to Earth anymore.
Yeah,
These are your options.
No,
Yeah.
you bring Galactus to
Right.
their planet. It is destroyed,
Yes.
and then they are just nomads.
Or
Oh,
you
there you
don't,
go.
or you threaten them with Galactus.
Oh, no,
You
no.
introduce them to Galactus.
He
and they're
just
like, oh.
does it.
I like the idea that the Galactus. That's like the
Aim
Predators just
Galactus
leave.
at them.
Or they don't even know.
You can't control Galactus. That's the problem.
No, I like the idea. The Galactus angle could be done in 3 different ways. 1, they threaten Galactus, they fucking back off. 2, they weaponize Galactus, they all die, or they back off because they have a treaty with Galactus. 3, you have you have the situation is dire. They're at the 0 hour. It's all over, and then they all leave because Galactus has eaten their home world.
Right, it's coming.
It's coming, and they have to defend themselves. And you're just like, you end it with Galactus at the Yautja planet, and the Predators just desperately trying to do what they can. You got a couple lifeboats going off on the other side of the planet
Are
or
you
whatever.
kidding me? All they would do is like make a giant ship into one of the discs and just cut
Right.
Galactus's head off.
Yeah.
Except it wouldn't work.
It wouldn't work. He's too powerful for
Yeah.
that. But I love the idea of like that.
I love them trying though.
Yeah, but they should try that.
Oh,
Yeah, that'd be
definitely.
cool.
Yeah. But like, you
What
don't
if we
even,
make a giant bladed disc?
you don't tell anybody how it ends. You just go like Galactus goes to their planet, and you can fill in the gap. Like
Right.
because we did it. We did the event. We're not gonna like, oh no, what happens to them later? Like I don't care.
Right.
Whatever.
That's not my concern.
Yeah. The concern is.
You know what happens next time? He's got a new herald, and it's a predator.
I mean, yes, that'd be fucking amazing. That's exactly what you do. That's how you end it. Is that you literally Silver Surfer them. Like they tried everything. They throw everything at the kitchen sink at Galactus, and what happens is one predator goes like, brrr, and like Galactus is like, oh, this is so familiar. It's a callback. I'm down. Makes him the fucking herald and then leaves. And like you don't do predators like for like a couple years.
And then predators are always hunting for a new meal.
Yes.
For Galactus.
And in fact,
Right.
yes.
Oh, it's a whole race of heralds. They're all heralds.
No,
that's too many.
I love the idea that like no.
There's gonna be one Galactus. What he's gonna be like? All right, find 20 different locations for me. I'm gonna pick
Yeah.
the tastiest
No,
one.
the
Yeah, and
predator-
I'll go from each,
I like
you
the idea
hunt
that-
while you wait for me to show up.
Yeah. No, you have the predators. Like the predators exist. Maybe a bunch of them died in their vain attempt.
most
to
of
stop
them
him.
had to have.
Right, but like they still do their thing. They go out into the galaxy and they hunt people. But one predator is hunting whole planets for Galactus, and then one day he's like, I'm gonna go back to Earth and I'm gonna feed it to my master. Like that's him hunting for Galactus is friggin'.
You know what's great? Galactus is having the herald hunt for planets.
Yes.
Those are the only planets that predators are allowed to hunt on until they're devoured.
Oh.
Right.
Yeah, you can hunt all the people you want on doomed worlds.
Yes.
They're all gonna die anyway.
Yeah.
What's the difference?
Yeah, I love that. Or you
That's how we
show-
control the predators.
Yes. After you've just like used them all, after you spilled the predator ink all over the page, because
Right.
you had an event where they all hunted Earth. Like, yeah, that's so gold. I love it. Or I also like the idea of like the one lone predator, like he hunts on Earth, he hunts on the planets that he's found. He's like, this is good. All right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna send the beacon after this.
Right. I go out. I find the planet. I find the planet.
I find them.
And
he's coming.
And I do bring Galactus. But in the meantime, there's some wiggle room
Yeah.
around these events happening where I can just do a little.
And
just
Galactus is like, I'm
hunting on the
aware of what
side.
you do. It doesn't bother
I don't
me.
care.
I
It's
don't
It's like
care.
Bring
taking
me
a
plans.
sesame seed off the top of a burger.
Yeah.
It doesn't really diminish the meal much.
yeah, knock yourself
A single
out.
seed, knock yourself
Yeah.
out.
If it keeps you happy, please.
Whatever, man.
God bless. But in the meantime, Predator, Superman versus Predator. I don't know who asked for this. I don't know why. I needed to actually reach.
DC asked for this.
Damn.
Yeah, I guess, but it's like, what?
What year was it?
2000.
2000. Yeah, probably DC asked for this.
Yeah.
In the year 2000.
Yeah, 2000, 2001.
I mean, this was part of the Predator DC crossover
that's
series,
right,
right?
yeah.
So they were just like, well, I mean, you did Batman. Obviously, you do this.
Yeah, but like that was 20 years ago that we did Batman.
I know, and then you did it again, and like again and again,
Yeah, all right.
and again and again and again.
That's right.
Look, I made a bet. If Y2K didn't wipe out our computers in existence, we were going to do a
Predator
Superman
crossover.
versus Predator crossover.
Well, we finally did it.
You're welcome.
Well, you know why? Because some asshole's like, you can't do Superman versus Predator.
Yeah.
Superman would just vaporize
Can't
them.
I?
Oh yeah? Challenge accepted.
Well, that wasn't a bet. I was just telling you what you can't do. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
your first mistake.
Yep.
There is a Superman versus Aliens. So, we're getting that too. Like, that's happening on the show.
Is it better or worse?
Does he kill any of them?
It's hard to say.
Okay.
Well, kind of the morality of the book is...
Oh,
that you
God
won't kill
damn
them.
it.
No, not another alien book where we can't kill them.
That's a DC
Why
book.
is this?
I can promise you this. Iron Man versus
This
Aliens...
Predator dies.
Yeah. I know.
It's okay for them to die
Superman
sometimes.
doesn't kill them, and they're not xenomorphs. No, I can tell you this. There is a book, Aliens versus Avengers. Yeah. They kill those bugs.
Yeah, because they're Avengers.
They kill everybody.
They don't mind killing people.
No,
sometimes.
they don't.
Sometimes people die.
Yeah, look at the first Avengers movie.
Yeah, they kill those guys.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Oh, they're
Sorry.
aliens.
Oh, that's okay. I can't even see their faces. There you have it. We'll see you guys next time with another episode of Sal.
I'm Ethan.
I'm Ben.
Keep reading.
Weird.
Weird.
Too long.
I know. I'm
Too-
sorry.
Shouldn't. I mean, the book's too long. The book should have been
Outrageous.
The book should have been. It should have been one issue.
Yeah.
Maybe two.
Maybe two.
Maybe two. Or an extra long.
An extra long,
Yeah.
double length
Yeah.
issue would be fine.
Like you
Superman
said, like
Aliens
49
longer.
pages or something. Well, if it's got a more interesting plot to go along with it.
It's weird. I'll put it that way. It's
Is it
that
connected to the Green Lantern? No, that's
kind of no. No, it's Green Lantern versus Aliens. It's not.
It's not. Okay.
No. It's weird.
That's a shame.
It's weird. I remember reading it and being like, what? That's what these are. Every time. Like every time we do another one, I'm like, damn it.
I mean, it's way less
they'd
out
learn
there
and be
than
better.
Yeah.
Batman
No!
and Superman versus Alien and Predator.
It sucks. That sucks on toast. I don't know.
Yeah.
I was like, how could you squander that? Like, you understand how rare it is that you get to do these, and then you did.
Yeah,
a
but
bad
also,
one?
how could you write that? Like
Superman and Batman
what?
versus Alien?
Superman and Batman versus Alien and Predator?
Yeah,
Are you
I know how to
fucking
do it.
kidding me?
Well, you do it with this. The Mayan Temple is full of aliens that were seated there by predators. It's just a stupid plot from Alien versus Predator,
Just a
but
lot,
also
it's
at
just
the
a
end,
lot happening.
I know. No, I agree.
Just a lot of stuff to
It's too much. It's,
and this and this and this.
yeah.
And
No,
this.
because they also did Batman versus Predator, Batman versus Aliens, and they did Superman versus Predator and Superman versus Aliens, and it was already too long for both those crossovers.
Right.
And yet we also were like Superman and Batman versus Aliens and Predators. I'm like, it's all too much.